Hello everybody, welcome back. You're watching the European Development Championship. All of this action brought to you by Gaming Malta. It's the home of gaming excellence. We've got a final series to top off Group B. We're going to find out who's going through to the playoffs alongside Hellraisers in this series next between SKADE and Galaxy Racer.
We absolutely are, and it's going to be an exciting one. I think SKADE definitely the favourites moving into this. However, there are a couple of contingencies in play. Firstly, Galaxy Racer. They have played superbly today. They had a fantastic series against Heretics. Or Heretics? Heretics.
Yeah, some people could pronounce it Heretics.
Heretics, yeah. I've been told off in the past for pronouncing it Heretics. So
who told you off? Was it somebody important?
I want to say his name. It was Flakes. He said... Yeah, he didn't tell me off. It was more of just a bit of a jokey one. But yeah, Heretics, completely fantastic series, really, really dominant stuff. And the other problem is the fact that they've not got Spellan playing. And that wouldn't normally be an issue. But of course, Spellan, he's that captain, the IGL, the man calling the shots. And instead, they've got Ships in. Now, Ships is a massively talented player. Really, really talented guy. But with that stand-in, we definitely saw earlier on with Heretics that it can be a bit of an issue. So we'll have to wait and see how that one pans out.
Yeah, and that's the big issue here, isn't it? I think that it's negated by the fact that Ships, he is from this region. He is also kind of that fifth man for a lot of teams. He is that classic Bulgarian stand-in that we always look towards, who kind of does fit into the parcel ever so slightly. And that's what I'm expected to see today. Not too much of a lack of cohesion from this SKADE side, because at the end of the day, they are used to playing with him, not just in this roster, but on previous teams as well. He has always been that man to kind of watch out for in the Bulgarian scene. He will be your nightmare as a fifth player, realistically. Here come some of these odds. Very, very close for this first map, Dust 2. We're expecting SKADE to ever so slightly take it. And that's just off of the back of this being an okay map for them. When I look towards Dust, they've won it 8 out of 14 times. We were expecting Inferno to perhaps be their pick. It's Mirage instead, which they've won 11 out of 20 times when you're breaking that 50% mark against some of the better teams in these tournaments. Always feeling good about those statistics. And then Overpass to top it off, also 10 out of 16 wins. So statistically, their best map out of the three of them.
Yeah, I think they're going to be pretty confident with these map picks and bans. Actually, yeah, really strong win rates across all of them. Going on to Dust 2 first, of course, Galaxy Racer, they've just come off the back of a fantastic win there. So they will be fired up and they will be warmed up on Dust 2. But SKADE, fantastic win rate previously, is one of their stronger maps, and they've been playing tons and tons of Counter-Strike recently, so we've got loads of data to go off of. In recent matchups, they haven't actually been doing too great. They lost 2-0 to Hellraisers, 2-0 to SJ, took a 2-0 to Gambit. That one's expected, and more notably, they played Galaxy Racer just yesterday and won it 16-3, so that's a rough one. That was on Overpass, of course, which is actually the third map in this series. So I'm definitely a little bit worried for Galaxy Racer right now. But if they play like we saw them play earlier on today, then I think they have got a real good fighting chance. And the odds definitely show that.
And that's the one scary factor in a series like this. That's 16-3 yesterday. You've got 2 bans in a best of 3. Obviously not going to be feeling massively confident after that result. But with a roster like this, you should be confident because they do have a lot of talent there. We saw Disco Doppelin slide into the mix a month ago as that captain, obviously performed admirably in that last series as well. Bags of experience to bring to the table, much like the Hobbit edition that we've seen to Gambit. Takes a little bit of time to screw up all of the bolts, but when that's iron tight, they're looking like one of the better teams in the CIS region today. And I've got to say that Galaxy Racer looking like one of the better teams in this group stage of this tournament. So if they can slip through in second place, that would be a big result for them, looking to bag themselves a little bit of prize money. Obviously, as we go further into this tournament, we're here on Dust 2 to start.
You absolutely are as we get into this pistol, kick things off. Okay, they're on the CT side. Two flashbangs to work with on Denny. Everybody else with that Kevlar. A pretty stacked Galaxy Racer side utility-wise too. Just their dot plan with that Molotov. Flashes all round. They head towards the B tunnels early. They come to this deep. And they are going quick.
This is all the way out of mid. Freddy Frog will be the first man out, gets fully flashed, and at the 90-second mark, they are pressuring this B-bomb site with 2 defenders hold. You see Chips held back in a way, and this USPS, they're failing to deal with him. Finally finds him. Denny steps up for just the one, and this is still a 2 versus 3 retake with Oxygen doing even further damage. The Bulgarians could very easily get back into this B-bomb site if they can break this stack, and Chips firmly able to do it with the first, and Freddy Frog back at this bomb site, a jumping shot to finish.
Yeah, Ship's showing that he is no contingency whatsoever. He's going to come in, he's going to find all the frags, even get that defuse too. Really, really sensational stuff in the pistol. You often see that B site just impossible to get back into. But you're always going to go for it on the pistol. No point in saving. Charge in with the USPs, hit all the headshots, and they are going to be happy as Larry. Round number 2, they've got plenty of cash to work with. All around that $4,000 mark. Expect them to go for these SMGs, maybe a couple of FAMASs. Galaxy Racer, they're at a crossroads. They either go for this force buy, we often see the Galils come out after the bomb plant, or go for the full save, and it is going to be the former.
Blacks are already on the SKADE. Opportunity to hit that cross shot. It's not going to happen with the smoke place from SKADE. They know that that's an element of danger. A little in the hands of Freddy Frog. Wants to look out towards long, prevented to do so by the smoke grenade.
Well, a couple of these Deagle players actually dropping AKs over. So Disco Top Plan, he's got one of those premium rifles in hand. The more experienced man on the side. Let's see what they can do with it, though. I mean, SKADE, as I mentioned before, plenty of cash. They've actually opted for the M4s over the utility. This is a dangerous game to be playing. Look how much util Galaxy Racer have to work with. If they can use it to get themselves onto a bomb site, SKADE don't really have anything to contend with besides the firepower. So these rifles have to keep their opponents at bay because they've got no smokes, no Molotovs, no HEs to do so. Galaxy Racer stack up towards short. Minute on this clock. Plenty of time to make this work. I actually fancy their chances right now.
Yeah, me too. Lack of utility means that it's hard to prevent them. And Galaxy Racer, they have plenty themselves. Triple smokes for the execute. And no HGs for SKADE. That would be an absolute dream to have to pressure up on this short position. The smokes go away. Denny's going to let them funnel into the stack here. Duplicate, yes, inside of Goose. They need to check him instantly, and with Denny gone, that makes this a lot easier. Both headshots found, and Galaxy Racer should win the round. The bomb goes away. SKADE, how do they get back into this one? My suggestion would be they shouldn't. They should back off, save the triple rifle setup, and carry it through to number 3.
That is the importance of utility, folks. You can't go for a full M4 buy in the second round and just have no util whatsoever. A scenario like that, they could have been bombarding short with nades, Molotovs, even a smoke would have helped. Instead, they had nothing of the sort, and they got completely overwhelmed. Such a strong round there from Galaxy Racer. That's actually fantastic. Every single man having a piece of the pie. And that is going to be 1-1. Brilliant response here on Dust 2, especially not to allow SKADE to pull away early. Of course, they have saved 3 rifles, so expect them to go for a force buy response here in this next. But the 2 players that fell in the last round won't have a lot to work with.
These are the power match odds from our partners, as close as it possibly gets. And with that rebound, Galaxy Racer now supposed favourites. You can get your bonus for your first deposit down at the banners below, of course. 1-1 here, MMJ. And, well, it's a shotgun out for Ships, Desert Eagle for Duplicate, and, well, the full money investment here from SKADE, albeit that wasn't much money.
Yeah, of course, Duplicate comes out with that Deagle. Ships only with that Mag 7. Often a really dangerous weapon, though, so I certainly wouldn't count him out. I think that's been dropped over so that he can afford that Kevlar helmet, the flashbang too. Galaxy Racer, really, really slow default. Look at where they are on the map. All spread around. They want to try and take a little bit of long control. Freddy Frog secures it with the headshot, but an instant trade is just the 1-for-1. Off the back of that, though, they will push out. They'll take this control. They want to just try and hold on to it. This can be their avenue onto the A site, but they need one more.
Gotta say, an uncoordinated scramble, and Rainwaker's going to die without finding anything. The round already over as Galaxy Racer find all 5, and very convincingly done as well, keeping 4 in hand. That's most of the rifles retained. As Galaxy Racer do pull ahead ever so slightly in this series. Remember, Galaxy Racer, this is their map pick. They've just played it as well in that 3rd and final to take the cake against the Heretics. Whereas Josh would say the heretics.
Heretics. Yeah, no, I don't mean to say it like that. Just comes out. Just comes out, and I can't help it. But yeah, Galaxy Racer, good response, and quite frankly, horrendous there from SKADE. They really disjointed. Remember, that was a buy round. They actually had 3 rifles to work with, a couple of M4s and a FAMAS, and they were just peeking long one by one. No trades whatsoever. Right now, just these pistols to work with. They have got a stack towards this A-long area, and the flash is flawless. That's nice and coordinated. Merits them 2 frags. They could do this.
3 frags, pretty much in unison. That's 3 rifles retrieved. What does SKADE do with them, though? They don't have body armor, so maybe going into this B-bomb site might be suicide, especially if you're going to look to challenge Freddy Frog. They might have the best angle for the job, and with Relaxer and AWP in hand, he could very easily get overwhelmed here. Spotted that initial information. The smoke goes down, and maybe Freddy's going to play right off the receiving end of it. Damage dealt. There goes the Molotov. He's playing this one perfectly, and what else would you expect from the statistical best player on this Galaxy Racer team? He's fed this one through flawlessly, and SKADE might not even have the HP to want to go back in for this one. I don't know where Ships' rifle has gone. There were 3 drops there, so one of these weapons have gone awry. Freddy Frog might even just dive through this smoke to find a little bit of extra bonus damage. I'd have loved to see Ships have an AK perhaps in hand, but I don't know where it's gone. He's hunting for it out towards long, and surely it's here, M&J. Apparently not.
Oh, that's unfortunate. They only carry 2 across. It's still a pretty successful round from SKADE, but it could have been more so. In that 4 versus 2, you just can't justify saving. You kind of have to go in for that one, and it's just unfortunate that they were so far away. Realistically, if they shift walk through the T-spawn, they might be able to catch Freddy off guard, bring it into a 4-on-1, but if they shift with no kits, then they have no time. So they have to make the steps, and Freddy anticipates it and is ready and waiting to shut it down. Duplicate, a lot of damage taken early on as Galaxy Racer bombard onto long. They want to take this A site by force.
And they're going to have no idea that Disco is this close. And you can see back turn, 2 kills, a bomb site cracked, and Galaxy Racer are doing it again. That previous series, it was all about the T sides. And with Disco Doppler hitting 3 fast frags, you think that that might be the case once again.
Absolutely, single-handedly just taking this one for his side. Everyone else might as well have just waited at the T-spawn because he did just about everything. Beautiful headshots, and it's just about enough to tip the round over there in their favor. SKADE right now, back to the saving game. I'm not sure how much money they'll actually have going into the next. Ships with the loss bonus definitely could drop. Denny could buy. They might be able to pull out something, but I actually wouldn't mind seeing them just save and go for a full investment. We haven't really seen that at all throughout this game. We've just seen these force buys. I want to see an AWP come out.
I do as well, and potentially even the double AWP setup. We know that Ships likes to holster that sniper rifle at times when needed. And here on the SKADE side, I'd really like to see them just bite the bullet here. I totally agree with you. Maybe even take a tactical timeout before that first buy comes to fruition. 4-1. Good start, Galaxy Racer. That's permitting they lost the pistol. This is a technical, though, from SKADE.
Oh, we never want to see technical pauses. Oh, no.
I can tell you, though, it's going to be a quick one by my admin chat. So no need to fear, ladies and gentlemen. We will be seeing Counter-Strike very shortly. This is where we play a little game of Guess the Tech. What will the tech be today? Da-da-da-da-da. M&J, your guess, please.
A hair on... Who's got the least kills? Actually, can't see. I'm going to say Rainweaker.
You can see the kills.
Can I? Oh, yeah, I can, of course. There is a hair on Denny's mouse mat, hence why he's only got 1 kill. And it's messing up his
Let's
flicks.
be honest. Do you need to take a technical pause to clear a hair off of a mouse mat?
Yeah, you got to go get the tweezers.
Maybe if it was a living hair and you had to push it back into its cage. Maybe if that type of hair was on his mouse mat, that would be a potential big tech issue.
No, don't know the origin of it. Could be contaminated. You might have to get that Monsters Inc. crew to come in and sanitize everything.
Yeah, they can take Mike Wazowski with him. Wazowski!
You didn't hand in your paperwork last night.
Yeah, But I do it better. So
Yeah, fine, you do. That's not something to be proud of, though, is it? Do a good impression of the slug woman from Monsters Inc.
It's going on the CV.
Whatever. Along with the monkey impression.
Yeah, it's all going on there. Disco Doppler opening frag. That's actually to trade Pleasant, who dropped earlier. He's 2 and 4, had a slower start, and Disco Doppler certainly hasn't. 6 kills, massive impact. We saw a triple in the last. If he can do the same against the rifles, this would be a massive start. We saw Galaxy Racer take actually 6-0 to begin proceedings against the Heretics. Not going to be as flawless and faultless. We'll see what they can do with these rifles on the B bomb site. They've got a double defense to breach and break, and Freddy Frog up in the open needs to spot out for this second man, and surely they should before the peak comes in. And with Duplicate and M4 in hand, they are not going to check for him. There's the back lines. 1 frag and done. With Freddy Frog there to trade and doing tremendous damage in the meantime. Des in a headshot. That should end the round. As Ships has to catch them on the cross. Hears that bomb going down, knows exactly where Freddy Frog is playing from. He's the only player with notable HP on this afterplant. So if he finds a fast AWP shot, then maybe there's an opportunity, but he can't see what we can see, M&J. We're watching this one through rose-tinted goggles, and he'll backtrack.
He can't even hold on to that angle. Finds the kill nonetheless. But in that scenario, he's standing on the other side of the Molotov, holding the angle, knows there's someone in the corner, and should have that shot all day long when they peek out. But he takes a tickle of damage to the Molotov. So that confirms that he's standing there. And Freddy would just be able to swing out and pre-fire. So he has to fall away, wants to save this AWP, and he is going to go to pit and do so. Don't think anyone's anywhere near him. Yeah, Disco Doppler certainly not going to be able to find him. So that is going to be the 5th on the board for Galaxy Racer. AWP carried across here for SKADE, but they won't have tons of cash to actually invest around it. And here are those Paramatch odds once again, purely off the back of all of these rounds coming through for Galaxy Racer at the start. They're actually your firm favourites, 1.31 to 3.25. And if you do want to head over to Paramatch and place a bet on this one or any other game in the EDC, then make sure you check out that banner below for your discount bonus. Please be over 18 and gamble responsibly, folks.
I want to see Paramatch go into other businesses as well, though. I want to see them do fried chicken. Obviously, it would be pari chicken.
Right. Okay. Pari chicken. That's it.
Yeah, and if you say it really fast, it sounds like a Nando's ripoff.
Yeah.
Be good. Minute 20. Shouldn't be too much of an interesting round here.
I think if you put the font in italics, then naturally you read it faster. Fun fact.
Paramatch.
Paramatch.
Makes it speedy, zooms. 1 minute, long control. Galaxy Racer not taking the pinks or the swings as of yet, and keeping control of that bomb in the meantime. How many times do we see, especially on Dust 2, that C4 go awry? It's not going to happen with Galaxy Racer. They seem very aware of it. They didn't lose that C4 once on their T side of Dust 2 earlier. They barely even lost rounds on this terrorist side. This time they will look to challenge these Desert Eagles. This should be number 6. That would match one of the scorelines that we saw in the Heretics matchup. And, well, that seems to be coming to fruition with Denny dropping, the AWP being the main contentious rifle, the only rifle in the server perhaps for the Bulgarians, as those Desert Eagles, they've already been spotted, sliding shot for Disco Doppler. He has been finding at least 1 kill every single round here. He's been such a good player, and that bomb does get slided on through. It loses them 1 kill, but Freddy Frog trades it right back twice as hard.
Fantastic round once again from Galaxy Racer. They're against the buy there, and they are just on a tear. 4 players staying alive, 6-1. You look at that bank account, so many of these players, Disco Doppler and Dezen, both above that 10k mark. They've got 5 digits, not something you see too often. Relaxer and Freddy Frog just narrowly behind, but now they actually are going to be tested. Full investment here from SKADE. Denny with that AWP, rifles on the rest, and they have some heavy long presence. But how on earth do they come out on top here? Galaxy Racer, they're 4 to contend with, and they're finding these kills.
I have no idea if Ships is used to playing inside of the pit, but got completely surprised and startled by that first frag. I'm surprised Galaxy Racer don't just bulldoze that one over the top. There's only a single defender on the B bomb site in the meantime. They need a smoke for the CT spawner. They do have 2 in the reserve. You can see that Relaxer desperately looking for this angle up towards the A bomb site. And Denny, Willie spots him out. Supposedly not. The flick downwards isn't accurate. The AK unfortunately swinging first, and it's just damaged, no frags. Rainwaker finds one and cleans up the rest.
So much falls on Rainwaker's shoulders there, and he manages to, well, carry the load. If he'd have fallen, would have been a 2 versus 2. They'd have taken that B bomb site, but instead Rainwaker just holds up a solid defense. And up on your screen right now is that Hellcase banner. If you do want to head over there, they're one of our partners for the EDC, one of the most trusted case opening sites out there. And that code will give you a 15% bonus, folks.
There's refill bonuses if you want your refills.
Yeah, like Nando's, get your drink refills.
See, we've got that parry match as well. We've got them all. We've got them all covered. Covered in hot sauce.
M&J and Squid's business plans.
There we go. Many of them don't see the light of day.
Oh, they will. Don't you worry. Only frags coming soon.
6-2. I won't talk about the content that you're currently producing for that. 70 seconds. And Galaxy Racer, they have lost the first man. It's something that SKADE haven't been able to achieve up to now.
Much slower stuff here from Galaxy Racer. They've taken this short control. It's completely uncontested. And they've only really got to deal with duplicate. Of course, Denny will be on the fast rotation. But if they post these smokes up, throw the high flashes, he'll be in a tricky position. With 40 seconds on this clock, they do need to speed this up, and Duplicate needs to hold up a solid defense.
Nade misses. Shouldn't matter. Galaxy Racer encroaching, and it all comes down to whether the AWP can connect or not. There's only one on the server. It's in the hands of Denny, and he is being held at bay by these smoke grenades. Another scoped rifle does actually miss those first frags, so Dezen able to gain an entry to this A bomb site. That C4 will go down and away. It's while lays Rainwaker in line. 2 headshots. That should be a chance as Denny whiffs. Just Disco Doppler, and let's see how good he really is. And a 1 versus 3. Denny does eliminate him instantly. Here comes the defuse M&J. It will be a 3rd round for SKADE.
That's unfortunate for Galaxy Racer. They've done well to get onto the site and get that C4 down. And as I mentioned before, as soon as those flashes come over, Denny's out of the picture. But they can't capitalize on the opportunity to take care of him. And therefore, he can finish things off. 6-3, this scoreline starting to close. Of course, we saw Galaxy Racer 6-1 up at just a few moments ago. If SKADE can take one more, I think they will be up against a bit of an eco from the Galaxy Racer side at that point, and then they can really close this gap. So this is an important one for them to take, but they haven't got off to the best of starts. Rainwaker already on 30 HP, and Bogdan's Law says that he has to be dropped that AWP.
And Ships, obviously that secondary AWP wanted it. Instead, they have to leave the primary sniping duties on the shoulders of Denny, who actually steps up to the task with that first frag from the Freddy Frog down into the lower B-apps.
Yeah, I love that boost. It's often checked by the T side, but if you've got a snappy AWPer, he'll still hit that shot all day long. And it's not common enough that it's pre-fired. Galaxy Racer, man down, but in prime positions to go for this mid-B split. And it's looking like that is going to be what they go for here. They've got that smoke for the CT spawn, and if they deploy it... In fact, they don't. There's a deep one in place instead. They have to be very careful here.
They certainly do. Hyper-aware, perhaps. Duplicate doing the damage. And at the back of that B-bomb site, they are going to get ripped open. This is a pretty even-Steven scenario, that bomb being the 3rd member for Galaxy Racer. Maybe Pleasant says that's not good enough and takes the swing into mid, and he does hit the headshot in the meantime. With Disco Doppler, a 1 versus 2 to achieve. We've seen him in so many clutches, Josh. He hasn't pulled through all of them. Last round being notable, a 1v3. This one, slightly easier. Half as easy, I would say. Denny, up close and personal. That is the no-scope. It was a dangerous scenario. You never know whether to pull that trigger or not. But it will be SKADE climbing up the rounds.
Real shame there. That was actually lightning fast reactions from Disco Doppler to spin around and do a bit of damage. But, yeah, of course, not the headshot. It's not enough. 6-4 then, another investment here from Galaxy Racer, but this is absolutely the last of the cash. Just off the back of that bomb plant, they'll have just about enough. Limited utility on 3 of these guys, though, so they really do have to rely on the frags. They need to hit all the headshots. and they're spread around this map. This slow default once again. The C4 has been left in the T spawn. And they've got Relaxer on that AWP, just holding, hoping someone peeks, hoping someone crosses. They're not committing to anything just yet, though. Ship's playing a much more passive angle, holding these mid doors. He'll flick up to short if needs be. Ooh.
Oh, it's so scary. You see that smoke going down and you know exactly what's going on as an opposing author. It's always a risk whether you're going to hit it or not. Denny keeps the angle posted, doesn't want to fall all the way back and concede full short control. It's such an influential part of the map of Dust 2. A pincer for Galaxy Racer to use for these ace splits. And instead they're going to be relegated to long to face off against Oxygen, who's holding up the line. Bomb spotted, the support coming, and SKADE looking to post a much sturdier defense. Oxygen another headshot before he drops. That's damage that the AWP will not benefit from. With that C4 dropped in a way, then he doesn't need to overpeak, but it doesn't really matter anyway. Des's going to walk right into his crosshairs, leaving just Relaxer remaining for Denny to take him down as well. SKADE, they're closing up this scoreline. The gap, the difference within one.
With the Bulgarians looking a lot more comfortable here on Dust 2. And I think Denny has really, really stepped up in these last few rounds. Do you remember when that timeout came through? I think it was round number 5 or 6. He was on 1 frag, and I pointed it out, and I said, like, he's on 1 kill. Now he's on 9. He's actually leading the charge for his team and almost the entire server. It's only Freddy that has a 1-up on him.
And you know what? It's because he's had the AWP in his hand over the last couple of opportunities. I would say this for SKADE and for many other teams. You need to get that money rolling to have those star players really shining. How many times do we see the AWP deprived of his favorite weapon and they're not able to get a full investment in? That was the issue early on when Galaxy Racer were winning all of the rounds. And then right here, it hasn't worked.
Absolutely so. And Denny, he was someone that we were talking about in the pre-game, or at least in our little chats before the match, as someone to really look out for. So I love to see that he's stepping up, and here on Dust 2, this scoreline more than likely about to close up. We should see this one go 6-6, and remember, this is Galaxy Racer's pick, so if SKADE can take it over the edge, I really do fancy their chances at a 2-0. Still plenty of rounds to be played, though. 4 more in this half. This one should be a bit of a superficial round here, though, for Galaxy Racer. They've only got these pistols in hand, and Denny posted on short with this AWP should be able to deal with it nicely.
It's challenge time. Duck hunting, perhaps, for the Bulgarian sniper. Quick incendiary through. That one's not going to get popped inside the Molotov. Instead, the standard smokes. This should prevent Denny some visual. He throws down an incend of his own to prevent some movement. They're stuck in their tracks with Duplicate still on this bomb site. He's got a scope rifle of his own. It's the AUG in hand, and they are going to encroach. I wonder if the run boost is coming through right on top of these sandbags. No, it's actually the boost instead. Unreal Disco Goblin. I love that angle. Still shouldn't really merit all too much, but that second frag opens the door of opportunity for even more. Nade over the top. Damage dealt onto Desm, but not as much as Disco. Headshots with these pistols. Really gnarly here as SKADE look to close the scores on the doors. Fast frags from Rainwaker. And here comes the Desert Eagle of Freddy Frog. He's gone unnoticed up to now, and Rainwaker low on HP. One body shot could get the job done. He's head glitching. Needs to be very careful. And with a bomb planted, but not for Freddy Frog, they haven't got this one worked out. The AWP needs to shoot right through these boxes, and he misses his one opportunity.
Oh, and he gets taken down afterwards as well. No AWP saved. It's not retrievable for Rainwaker, but he won't matter. They've got plenty of cash. They've won the last 3 in a row. That is such a sensational clutch there from Rainwaker, and so unfortunate that Freddy couldn't just swing and get one more body shot with that deagle. He was really the danger man there. Playing from long, completely unnoticed. SKADE were expecting the third man to be on that bomb site, and that just wasn't the case. Quick boost over towards short. I think Denny wants to go for a fast pick. Not sure if he'll be granted it, though.
Probably not. Nobody holding mid control here for Galaxy Racer means that he gets information but no kills. Oxygen playing so close to this smoke grenade. One flashbang could take him out of the equation, and that nade just whiffs by a whisker. You're thinking that that one's going to do a lot of damage. Instead slides down into pit, and I said earlier it might have been a mistake to put ships in this position. They seem to agree with me. Oxygen instead has been an influential member on these angles. See them trying to bait out Dennis Law there, not just with the shots, but the flashbang as well. Doesn't take him out of the equation just yet. That smoke might. It's so hard as an Orb to contend with those smokes, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I liked Oxygen's early position as well. I actually wouldn't have minded him even maybe staying there for a little bit longer. You often see those flashes go over the top, and he wouldn't be subject to them if he was as close as that. Nice secondary kill coming through, though. SKADE now with the man advantage. They have all the information on where these remaining attackers lie, and this smoke seems to help them out a fair bit.
And Duplicate turning for the flashes, has an up-close and personal angle, gets taken away by the blind Disco Doppler. So Galaxy Racer, they do have property of this A-bomb site. With the AWP watching on along as well, it's a hard retake for SKADE to make work. Such a key moment here for both teams. Who's going to take that narrow lead? Ships wants it to be SKADE. Might not be a permanent member of this roster, but he's definitely had a great series here. And look at the way they just prize that bomb site apart.
Yeah, that's sensational once again from SKADE. That does give them this lead. That AWP being dropped over there, actually going to carry across a double up setup. Really, really strong stuff. And I mean, there was a big mistake there from Galaxy Racer. They didn't have the smokes for the cross, so Disco Doppler had to hit a massively impactful headshot just so that they could actually get onto the bomb site. If he doesn't hit that, it's pretty much game or round over at least. Did come very, very close, but SKADE definitely pull ahead, and yeah, they're just looking great here on Dust 2.
Here come the Incendiaries, and as Galaxy Racer wants to posture for long control, they are going to find him to start off proceedings. They should know that Oxygen loves to play these angles, so checking pit's a priority, and Disco Doppler does it on his lonesome. Great nade in the meantime. He's done the damage required, and now Denny, the next to receive pressure and a challenge, threads the needle with the first shot, and unable to hit the second. It's fallen apart at the seams here. As the HUD fades away, so do all of these SKADE defenders. And I think that Rainwaker might be next in line for a little bit of a pounding here. I wonder if Freddy heard that. A couple of footsteps come across.
Yeah, there's much better stuff here from Galaxy Racer. And I think a clean round like this will do them a lot of favors, especially if Freddy stays alive here. I don't think that's going to be the case. Surely doesn't check this corner. Actually does, but still drops. That's going to give Rainwaker an AK to work with. But despite the fact that SKADE have won so many in a row, because a couple of these rounds have come incredibly close, they've had to reinvest. That CT side is so much more expensive. And they actually don't have a lot of cash moving forward. So Duplicate and Oxygen aren't going to be able to buy into this next. Maybe with this rifle save, Rainwaker can drop it over. Maybe they do go for an investment. We'll have to wait and see.
I've got to say as well, is Galaxy Racer taking this series very, very important. Might not be the most public knowledge, but they wanted a longer break before they got into this map. And that's because they played a really long 3-mapper just a moment ago. Here are the odds, and they're bringing them back. We saw SKADE fairly firm favorites earlier on, and they are changing live, remember. Those odds changing as you're betting. Over with the bonus on that banner below. 7-7. And yeah, back to that point, Galaxy Racer wanted that extended break. They got it just to come into this series with a fresh head. They played 3 maps against Heretics. Obviously hard-fought maps at that, especially the first on Inferno. And that reverse sweep is always very mentally taxing, M&J. It's quite hard after you lose that first to, well, keep yourself in the series, have all of that energy that carries you into the second and third maps. It's more of a marathon than a sprint. And I've got to say that both of these teams obviously want to qualify for those EDC 1 playoffs, the first of which, I think 5 being announced with $150,000. That's a lot of money.
Absolutely is. Nowadays, we just have these online tournaments that have these big prize pools. And for some of these legendary players that have been playing in the scene for a long time, that's something that they haven't had the opportunity previously. Right now, Galaxy Racer 4 versus 5. They're heading over towards this B site, but Duplicate is in a fantastic position. It's going to go unchecked, spams away with the Deagle, only does some damage, brings things into a 3-on-3, but doesn't quite open up this B site. Rainwaker's still causing problems.
Oh no, with the AWP dropping towards the middle of the map, and that bomb totally isolated, Freddy Frog wants to do the damage with the smoke grenade, and they are going to both peek into him. Denny, a clutch headshot to close out the half. SKADE win it, and look at how polarized it is. As of Galaxy Racer, this is much like the Heretics game, I must say, going 6-1 ahead. They lost the majority, the lion's share of the rounds as of that point, 85 of which going Galaxy Racer's side, at 85% of which, of course. 85 rounds in a game of CS, that would be a little too much, I feel. 15 rounds into this one, we see a secondary pistol come through. This is a tactical timeout for SKADE right before this pistol, so shows that they'll be taking this one seriously. Shows that they are kind of taking this pistol very, very carefully.
Absolutely, yeah, I like that. They haven't used any of their tactical timeouts yet, so definitely the time for one now. Really sensational final round. I just want to give him a little bit of credit. Rainwaker did such a fantastic job. 3 kills, kept them afloat just long enough that those rotations could come in. And it's just such an awesome turnaround. To be 6-1 down, to bring it back to an 8-7 half, that's often the break-even point here on Dust 2. We always see these 8-7s. On top of the pistol, though, this could be the map win here for SKADE. They just need a strong T-half, and if they can take it, they put themselves in a fantastic position. Relaxer in lower tunnels early on. A lot of aggression here from Galaxy Racer. And this could work out perfectly, or it could go horribly wrong. They need to be careful, and as they don't find anything early, they do actually fall back.
Remember that both teams have that time to talk during the tacticals. So even though SKADE called it, Galaxy Racer still have 30 seconds to say, this is the pistol. What the hell are they going to be talking about? Let's do something different. Throw a spanner in the works. Try and get inside their heads. It doesn't work. They don't find any openings. And Duplicate has this angle on long against Pleasant. He hits the headshot anyway. The P2000 comes in with both. And now looking to fortify the save bomb site for one further time. The C4 to go down and away. Oxygen catches off Disco Doppler, a mistake. And SKADE with an opportunity to get onto 9 early in this 2 versus 4, now 2 versus 3. They're coming into this one from all angles. CT spawn heavily fortified. You see that Pleasant gets taken down low. And with the P250 taken out of the equation, it all comes down to Rainwaker's Glock that cannot pull through. A good round from Galaxy Racer, all off the back of Pleasant and Dezen.
Yeah, that's actually sensational. Desert with 3 kills there. Really does put Galaxy Racer back into this one and possibly breaks that little comeback. Of course, SKADE, they've won so many of the last few rounds that just that little bit of break in pace, that reset might be what's needed here for Galaxy Racer. Of course, with that C4 down, though, SKADE are going to go for a full investment here. Duplicate dropping one of those AKs over, and then we've got 2 AKs, a Scout, a Galil, and a Deagle in play. So pretty matched buys here. SKADE could definitely bounce back, and well, that would be really a worst case scenario for Galaxy Racer. We'd then be looking at a 10-8 more than likely. Not if Dezen has anything to say about it, though.
No, not at all. Remember, they're playing without Spellin today, which means that this T side is about to get a lot harder. He's the in-game leader, also that Orperic time, so without Spellin in the mix, how do they actually respond? How are those setups formulated? Of course, you've got those strategies that are ingrained on the back of your eyelids from playing them so many times. But without your in-game leader to read the right tactic at the right time, call those rotates, are you going to struggle on a map like Dust 2, where those rotates are so damn important? Obviously, going on to other maps with lots of tactical aptitude needed as we creep further into this series. Mirage, Overpass, I'd say Overpass. Quite a tough, tricky one to play without an in-game leader, at least. Lucky to not have Inferno in the mix, I guess. 45 seconds. Here comes the B take, and SKADE, they are a player down already. Galaxy Racer was all about their T-sides earlier. Now they've got to put up a big CT half, and with Rainwaker hitting all of the shots, baiting in the peak for Oxygen to take care of Freddy Frog, this round already over.
Yeah, Oxygen's such an integral player here, just getting rid of all of these rotations. They've played this one incredibly well, and you're right to pick up on Spellin just being a big loss today. Him not being here, of course, he's pretty much by far the most experienced player on this side, so brings so much knowledge to this team. And all the brains.
And we've got to be honest, Spellin has kind of like brought a lot of the Bulgarian scene up with him as well as a captain. He used to be the in-game leader of Outlaws, I should say, when Cirque was the main AWP. Now flying over to America, being that evil genius's star AWPer. Lots of experience, lots of money behind him, and looking to bring the Bulgarian scene up. He's definitely the shining star of that region. And some of that, surely, has to come down to Spellin, kind of adapting him into the team. Cirque was playing under that roster for a really, really long time. I felt like I was casting Cirque and Spellin's games pretty much every single day.
yeah, I mean, you've been in this scene a fair bit longer than I have, so I can't say I casted the old Outlaw days, but obviously was familiar with them. Got the pleasure to watch them. Malaxa, once again, we've actually seen him go for this already in this today in that scene in that series earlier on. That aggressive peek towards lower tunnels with that scout does do some damage, but nothing else, and surely drops here. That's exactly what happens. Perfect flash from Duplicate, and Ships is allowed to just get right in and find that headshot.
This feels like it could be the turnaround moment as well for SKADE. 10 rounds breaking the economy. That's what's up for grabs if they can win this one. And it looks like Oxygen's just holding down that A bomb site solo. No real exit strategy here for Galaxy Racer. They lay an egg on the B bomb site perhaps. And, well, Oxygen's going to absolutely just wreck him, isn't he? What a shot.
Absolutely. This is actually a flawless round as well from SKADE. One that I wasn't really expecting them to have a flawless round after Galaxy Racer dealt damage early. They were having this aggressive stance with the Force Buy. You just couldn't get anything done. Finally, Galaxy Racer will accept their fate, step down to an eco. Been incredibly back and forth, though. Now just down to these pistols. P250, flashbang. In fact, I think that's just a P2000. Tricky to tell with these icons, but yeah, just a flashbang to work with. They should just get torn apart by these automatic rifles, and well, they've got this long configuration, but as soon as they decide to go for the peak, I think they'll realize that no one is on long. SKADE have taken this B site, and this will just be a freebie round for them.
Yeah, they're looking to just farm up a little bit of cash. That could look greedy with these rifles. I wonder why the bomb hasn't gone down just yet. They want to put the UMP into a good position to rack up the headshots. They don't want any potential saves coming in. They don't know what body armor could be on the server, but these kills must feel incredibly easy. For Oxygen, I feel like the majority of kills that he finds feels easy. 3 kills right there, 11-8. And SKADE firm favorites on this first map, and that's considering that theirs being Mirage is coming up next. We thought that previously they might pick into an Inferno, obviously with Spellin out of the roster, maybe get those more tactical maps out of the pool. Go on to the more scrimmy Dust 2's Mirages. I feel like this kind of map pool very much leads itself very well to teams with a stand-in, especially that T side as well, where maybe you don't need as much tactical aptitude. Sometimes it feels, yeah, if you don't have those rotates on the CT side, it can be very hard to take. And SKADE classically take the bulk of their Dust 2 rounds on that counter-terrorist half. So not doing that means that they're putting up a big performance here. B bomb site, yes, it falls. They've done significant damage before a potential retake comes through. I don't know if Galaxy Racer will want to go in for this one.
Yeah, this B site, really, really tricky to take. So in a 3 versus 3 scenario, certainly won't be easy. They've got some utility to work with, but do they clear Rainwaker's position? They're approaching with caution. They seem to know he might be here, but they don't check it. He can swing out and find both. And this round is now donezo. Relaxer has to save this M4A1S, surely. Doesn't even get the opportunity to trade that one. Might get it now. There we go. Cheeky headshot onto Rainwaker, but he is just going to fall right back. This is going to be the 12th for SKADE. And at the start of this round, we saw those Paramatch odds come up. And of course, they're live odds. And they took a big shift just before they disappeared off your screen. SKADE, firm favorites here to take this one after this crazy comeback. Remember, they were 6-1 down. Now it's 12-8. This is their opponent's map pick, and they are putting out a stellar performance. 4 away from finishing this one off as they face up against another lackluster buy from the Swedish side. I'm incredibly impressed right now.
That means that SKADE, just for your mathematicians out there, have won 11 out of the last 13 rounds. Galaxy Racer need a massive change of pace, and it needs to come right now.
Relaxer, he's been spotted on the site just with his deagle in hand. They have found this opening pick, so definitely something for them to work with. But this lack of Kevlar, definitely going to be problematic. And as he's about to get overwhelmed, needs to hit these 1Ds, and it's not going to happen. Oxygen far too quick. Still damage dealt. This is falling apart. What on earth was that? Galaxy Racer completely demolished the round. Put their 9th on the board. That's a big time for them to step up.
Certainly is. It felt like that rotate came at exactly the right moment. They had a fortified A bomb site with 4 defenders holding ground. And realistically, SKADE, they cannot hold up to the fight if they've got every single member of that CT side, even if it's just Desert Eagles actually on the bomb site. You saw Oxygen hitting such snappy shots. I have to point it out. He's been doing that all day. Then it's AWP. isn't going to get anything done right off the bat.
Yes, double up setup here for Galaxy Racer, often viable on this CT side. Dezen towards the back of this B bomb site with it. The issue is that if this B split does actually come through, he is in a horrible position. Pleasant needs to hold up this line. He's got the angle posted, definitely anticipates this one, but with no presence towards this middle of the map, they have no idea where SKADE are right now. No information whatsoever. Nobody playing too aggressive either. So until the first man faces, they're not going to have any info whatsoever.
Basically playing this round in hardcore mode, and with Duplicate nailing that one. I'm surprised that Dezen was even able to pull the trigger there, because that was so snappy. Rainwaker as well. Feels like SKADE are just hitting all of the shots. Maybe this is why they 16-3'd Galaxy Racer yesterday on Overpass. We're seeing a similar performance here today on this T side where they are hitting everything. What a monstrous couple of kills there. When you're facing an AWP, maybe you're expecting him to just steal away a frag and then be able to crouch in time. That was not a possibility there. You see that Dezen, even before he really knows what's happening, basically closes his eyes, pull the trigger, gets his face blown off.
Oh, 12, about to be 13-9. SKADE drawing closer and closer to that magic number. And that was just sensational. Watching that from Dezen's POV really does allow you to appreciate just how quick some of these players are. Jiggle peek, bam, headshot. Dezen hasn't even got time to react. I've barely got time to react, and I'm not the one that has to press mouse 1. 4 rounds ahead, 3 rounds from closing, and SKADE, they've got plenty of money, plenty of momentum to get this one done. They need to tear through one more buy round, and they might be able to put themselves onto match point. Burst out long early on. They want to try and find these frags.
That's when things get touch and go. Duplicate find a massive gap, though. That merits him the first kill. It's baited in by Oxygen's flashbang. That blinded everybody. And with 3 kills found already, the round already looks over. And even though Dennis pitches back 1, round should still be finished. Could be curtains for Galaxy Racer on their own pick. What's going on right now? Looks like a very faultless T side, to be perfectly honest with you. This pace being controlled flawlessly. Ships another headshot. We don't see it. We're focusing on Dezen, who now needs a 1 versus 3. Wants to find ships first, but he's playing on his lonesome, and he's going to be wrapped around from both angles. Surely he doesn't even spot this one. Then he just searches for him with the AWP, and Dezen's been run an absolute fake. He thinks it's A. He still thinks it's AM and J. It is absolutely not. He's about to realize this one. And does he go for it? I don't think so.
Yeah, just going to be this save call. Wants to carry that AK into the next. And quite frankly, there's no excuses here for Galaxy Racer. They've had the time to warm up. We've seen them, of course, playing earlier on. They even got the pleasure to play Dust 2. So, had plenty of time to get ready, to be prepared for this matchup, of course. And we saw them play a fantastic Dust 2 map just earlier on. So, very, very clear that SKADE are just 1 up. They're just on a different level right now. They've woken up on the right side of the bed. They're playing incredible Counter-Strike. 14-9. They win this next one. They get onto map point. And I don't think Galaxy Racer are going to be able to buy a whole lot to prevent it.
And let's be honest, this tournament does mean a lot for them. They did take that break before coming into this series. Usually in a tournament, you have to play maybe 15 best of 1s, best of 3s before you actually bag yourself any prize money. This time, you actually just need to win 1 best of 1 and then 1 best of 3 to get through to those playoffs. Unfortunately, they lost their best of 1 against SKADE, so that meant that they had to play 2 best of 3s to even get through to those playoffs in the first place. But looks like they might repeat history with a loss here on Dust 2 instead of Overpass. As SKADE don't look 1 up, Josh, but they look many, many up.
Many, many up. Might be able to get this series over and done with quickly. Of course, if they take Dust 2, they then go on to their own map pick of next. Of course, that's Mirage, one that Galaxy Racer aren't too comfortable with. So, SKADE right now, Looking like they might be able to get this one done in a 2-0 fashion. They've just got to finish off the job here. We haven't seen how good they are at closing out these series just yet. Closing out these maps, I should say. Disco.plan up close to this smoke is going to deploy another one. Buys them a little bit of extra time, but he might get spammed through it. That's exactly what's happening. 37 points of health, and he's still sticking around, and that is a mistake. They're going to punish you for that all day long. Freddy Frog now needs to defend this one all on his lonesome.
I wonder, just wonder, if they were watching that Dust 2 map earlier, because that is something that Disco Doppler was doing basically all map. This time it gets closed down by Freddy Frog, though, who actually lends them a humongous lifeline right through the smoke. Pleasant might be able to close this ship's court. That's 10. And that's all down to Freddy Frog, let's be honest. 3 kills on short, beautiful stuff, and SKADE just held it baby for the finish line. I wonder if they were watching that series, Josh, because that is something that Disco Doppler was doing all of the time. He was holding that angle behind the smokes. He was getting away with it. Maybe SKADE might have been watching that stream, perhaps. Watching the demos.
Maybe. I mean, that's something that they absolutely could have done. They haven't had another game so far today. Galaxy Racer, obviously, just the one series. If Heretics had won it, this would have been their 3rd series of the day. So all really does come down to how much time they actually have to prepare. And yeah, having the ability to watch that Dust 2 game does give them a potential advantage. Pleasant really should have been connecting that shot. Not really sure why he's on this AWP. Certainly not connecting with it, though. And SKADE, they're coming out on top in these engagements.
Oh, that was a painful one, wasn't it? Yes, the rotate is here, and the double AWP's trying to hold up the line. Duplicate's tagged on the cross. So this bomb might be able to go down. That nade, it is brutal. Duplicate taken away. Disco Doppler finds it, and Galaxy Racer, what a sucker punch of this A-bomb site. Denny now needs to come back to this A site. And he has got a sniper rifle, but surely they know where he's playing from. The AWPer going towards long, not exactly the biggest surprise of the year. And he needs this shot here, but it's such an easy one for Disco Doppler to connect. 14-11. Galaxy Racer, they are bringing this one back.
Oh, this one's starting to get dangerous. You look at this cash right now for SKADE. There's not a lot of it to go round. They will be able to pull out just one final buy. Rainwaker with that Deagle, everyone else with those rifles. Duplicate, no utility to work with. They do want to try and get this one done still. And they've got enough firepower to do so. If Galaxy Racer win this, however, they might be able to get themselves onto 13. And that's where things start to get dangerous, contentious. Duplicate thinking might have just spotted out that head. Perhaps not. Nonetheless, they're going to go around to this B-bomb site. Needs to hit this headshot in CT. Can't quite do so. Disco Doppler comes out on top.
And there's nobody there to trade from SKADE, so a little bit late, a little bit delayed. 80 seconds left to play. And here, this is shaping up to be a B split. They have to deal with Disco Doppler first. He's within the CT spawn, unless they just go straight into this B bomb site here. Definitely a possibility and an opportunity. And with the smokes dissipating towards the middle of the map, if they want to go through mid, they're going to have to use their last smoke right here. That still gives a bit of a gap on top of those boxes. Remember, you actually need 2 smokes to counter off the whole of that CT spawn. That's just a utility investment that they just do not have. And that's without any smoke grenades being used on B, remember. Short control from Galaxy Racer. Look at them meticulously taking it off the back of the flashbang, so it's relaxed to throw it. And here on the B bomb site, Desmond holding up the line. He's got an anti-flash here. Wait for him to just throw it over the top, perhaps. He hasn't got it out in hand, but that incendiary grenade, it is flawless. It is faultless, and Galaxy Racer have 3 defenders here. Oxygen, yes, he's in the rear, and they are watching out for him, but with no shots connecting, they need to take 2 further players away, and surely even if Denny connects that shot, he's not watching for all of the fortification around.
Well, this is where things start to get a bit touch and go. SKADE, they have to go down to this eco. Really can't afford to invest into this one, so just a couple of Deagles will come out. They'll stay around that $2,000 mark. That'll allow Galaxy Racer on to 13, and all of a sudden they're back in the game. A lot of chance for them here. SKADE, only one more needed to put themselves onto map point, of course, but I don't think they'll be able to do so here.
to potentially receive the first challenge shouldn't be too much of a scare for the Galaxy Racers. They should pull this scoreline back to within 1. Up against the Desert Eagles. Let's see if they can get the job done against Relaxer. Maybe, just maybe a bomb plant. Maybe a whole lot more if they take him out of the equation. It's such a fast shot to start off the fragging. More tags, no more frags, as the pistol does come through, and Denny's headshot, that secures the bomb plant. Galaxy Racer held it at arm's length, but this should be an easy retake here against the Double Deagles, especially considering Rainwaker. He's on negligible amounts of HP. And there's no rifle there to save. So going on to long, he's looking for maybe another cheeky frag if he can find one. And Galaxy Racer should be aware of this. They've got so many players. They can get the defuse. And that is a lovely headshot. Does throw a bit of a spanner in the works just for a second. Obviously, the defuse comes in. And Galaxy Racer plenty of money to buy pretty much until round 30.
Yeah, with that plant coming through there, they have extra money to work with. SKADE onto 14. All of the weaponry. Single AWP on this Galaxy Racer side. They do have enough money to go for a double AWP setup, opting against it, of course. If Galaxy Racer take this one, they might be able to put themselves onto map point. They've not left it too late. SKADE are only on 14. That doesn't secure anything just yet. They have to get it done in the 28th. And as they've taken full mid control, completely uncontested by Galaxy Racer, they have an opportunity to go up short, maybe try and go for this mid-B split. Been successful for them in the past. Instead, just feeling around. Don't want to get caught out by anyone playing aggressive towards Catwalk. They have to clear it, cover all their bases. Minute 20 on the clock. They've got plenty of time to do so. But now Disco Dotplan getting into position, anticipating this mid-B split to come through. And he's got himself in a brilliant position.
This is pressure time for both teams. Definitely feeling it. Definitely sweating ever so slightly, and Relaxer certainly isn't. That is such a speedy headshot, and Rainwaker probably didn't know what domed him. It's the AWP, of course. He falls back into the counter-terrorist spawn, and SKADE need to be rethinking their options. Maybe short isn't the best bet after all. Yes, they've got the smokes down in a way, and now they're fully committed. Oxygen needs both of these headshots. It's only the 1-for-1 trade. Mid-control taken, the Molotovs go down, and here Galaxy Racer, they are playing at an absolute leg's length. Yes, they've got 2 players at long. They want to play the full retake scenario. This is dangerous. You give SKADE some leg room and they might take a mile instead of an inch. It ships on the A bomb site to be the first man on the response. A swing out, headshot doesn't land. Disco Dotlin traded, and the AWP is going to go down. That's the main member falling. Duplicate out in the open, gonna get taken away. And Galaxy Racer, they close up this scoreline.
What a round for them to take. And as I said before, this really does turn the tide. SKADE, luckily enough, they had a little bit of extra cash in the bank. And with that bomb planted, they have got the money to go for a full investment here. So it is going to be the AKs. Rainwaker pulls out that AWP. He's going to drop it over to Denny, I assume. In fact, Ships wants it.
Ships?
He's got the long spawn.
Oh, he's going for it, isn't he? This is going to be very speedy if he nails it. And spots out an elbow. Disco Dotlin's history.
That is incredible. Then drops it back over to Denny. Lovely little initiative plays where you say, right, Ships, you've got the long spawn. Go for that pick. And you know that even if Ships isn't an AWPer, he's got the reactions to hit a shot like that. Gives them a man advantage. A huge advantage here to take the round in the 29th. As they head back over towards B. This needs to be flawless. They can't let it slip now.
And that's actually exceptional. Ship's actually the secondary AWPer of many teams. Pretty much everybody he plays with. Back in the days of the old Cirque, he would have been the secondary AWP at times, sometimes Speller, and they had so much sniper rifle potential. 1 minute remains, and Galaxy Racer still with 2 players on this B bomb site. SKADE maybe have wrongly assumed that they've gone elsewhere after that opening frag comes through, but Disco Dotlin holding away the forces. That's a lovely flashbang, and it might blind up at least the first. They do spot out Pleasant though, and as the rifles drop, Deson's done just about enough damage, and I just wonder, what does Galaxy Racer want to do about this one? If they can find the first, and there is a chance, And with Rainwaker getting taken down, that levels up the numbers, and the AWP now under a heavy pressure. Relaxer might have wanted to trade it out, but that might be a little too late. He is right outside of this B-bomb site and needs to check these corners precisely as Denny, the utmost patience, checks the angle. Oxygen hits one in the meantime, and Denny knows exactly where Freddy's playing from. Right in the rear, the Asimov connects, and SKADE, they've done it. It's 15, they've secured OT.
Well, I'm sure that's a sigh of relief, a weight off of their shoulders, but they're not quite over the line just yet. Galaxy Racer, they've still got plenty of money to invest into this one. Many players, an abundance of cash. It is going to be the full rifle setup. They did have enough money to go for an AWP, so actually opting to go for 5 rifles, literally limited utility on a couple of these guys. Only on Dezen and Relaxer. I think that's why they didn't opt for that AWP. The players that could afford it needed to prioritize those nades. And here in the 30th, it goes one of two ways. We either go to overtime, we see further rounds to separate these two sides, or we see SKADE take it over the top on their opponent's map pick of Dust 2. This has been an incredible match so far, and SKADE, minute 25 on this clock, all spread around this map, not committed to anything just yet. That's C4 over towards top mid, as they're just pondering going towards B. They've sent in a couple of nades, definitely making this one convincing, keeping Galaxy Racer on their toes, but no one taking any engagements just yet.
Galaxy Racer all day, they've been incredibly clutch. The reverse sweep against Heretics, and maybe pulling this back to overtime after a substantial SKADE lead. This has been a tale of two cities, two halves. Galaxy Racer, they spread ahead, didn't they? But it was taken right back, and now we see round 30. Smokes go away, the peak just before, and Dezen secures it. Quick shots through the smoke. Reload now needed, as they will peek into the double B defense once again. The flashes force Pleasant back, and it's only the 2-for-2 trade here for SKADE. They have been held in an arm's length, and we surely go to OT here. Denny's a little late to the party, and with Oxygen, who would usually be that floating voter in mid, is now the last player alive. Headshot as well. 1 HP in a dream, and we're going all the way, Josh.
Yeah, it's overtime. 15-15. Galaxy Racer, they managed to tip it over the edge right there. And, well, it all kicks off. And that first man going through the smoke and Dezen punishing him for it. It's always the danger if you go for the peak before the smoke blooms. All just starts to fall apart after that. What I love about overtime, though, is they've all got plenty of money. It is only a 10k. But it will be full buy versus full buy, which is what we like to see. We don't like to see all these rounds going back and forth and messy ecos and force buys. We like to see every man with all the tools they could want.
Remember, MR3 10 and 16k definitely plays differently. CT side means you don't have enough to buy if you lose the first two. 16k is basically an all-out party.
Ooh. Yeah, I did think, when I saw Pleasant pull out that first AWP, I thought, are they going to go for a double AWP setup here? They absolutely are. Galaxy Racer, super confident right now, but playing a very dangerous game. You look at that money on Pleasant and Relaxer. If they lose this round, they are actually going to struggle to invest into the next. They'll be able to pull out the buy into the next, but they're not in the third. So yeah, as you say, playing a dangerous game. SKADE right now, much quicker stuff.
Definitely beneficiaries of having two snipers. Is Pleasant around this corner. Just needs to connect one bullet for this to be a successful opportunity. Ship somehow dives right into him and finds both of those opening kills. Freddy Frog taken down as well. And without the bomb going away, Denny is going to scurry into the upper B tons to try and find a flanking member. There is nobody. It's Disco Doppler instead, wanting to maybe make a faster execute back into this B site. 57 HP and aided perfectly off the back of the flashbang to find both. It's 16 for Galaxy Racer as they take the early lead.
That's actually incredible. A 2 versus 2 like that, you really do start to fancy SKADE's chances, especially when you know that they have the opportunity to get that bomb planted. But perfect flash from Relaxer. Disco Doppler swings in, and you just know that that initiative is there. It's just, right, 2 versus 2. I have a flash. Get in, quick. Let's go. Got to deny that plant. Got to isolate those fights. And, oh, look at that connection. Pleasant already down to 13 points of health. That is rough.
You know what they say, unlucky for some. And well, Disco Doppler's not been spotted here, remember. So both kills, what a shot away. And on the CT side, it's all about those opening rounds, remember, Josh, to give yourself enough money to buy into round number 3 of the half. 90-second mark, and SKADE, since we went to OT, falling apart at the seams perhaps. Oxygen, he's been such a clutch member. Denny's been last alive in a lot of these situations, unable to find the clutches. Can't really blame him for that. And this is such a good position from Dezen. I just wonder if he's been spotted. It looks like Oxygen had an idea, but getting a nade out, perhaps potentially not. It's Relaxer to try and hold away this for the 17th Galaxy Racer. It'll be a clean shot. 17.
Yeah, there's no way Relaxer's missing that one. And Galaxy Racer, they just seem to have woken up. I mean, it took them a while. Don't get me wrong. They almost left it too late. But they have been playing absolutely incredible Counter-Strike since pretty much round 23, round 24. That's where this all started. They managed to pull it right back. Now a huge advantage. And just look at that Relaxer. He's so quick. Denny's just got no opportunity there whatsoever. Galaxy Racer might actually have a flawless CT side here in the first half of overtime.
That seems to be the case. 3 in a row. Doesn't secure you the second map. You obviously need that fourth, with 19 being the magic number, of course. But double AWP setup absolutely paying dividends, and Rainwaker not going to find the sneaky cheekily angle on the B bomb site. Instead, it'll be the short execute. There is no AWP here to hold down the angle, but Galaxy Racer, they've been more than confident and comfortable here, Josh, to go for the retakes on this A site. They've allowed the bomb to go down multiple times, and in 3 versus 5 situations, they'll be looking to repeat history once again. A double dip, bomb planted. They know what's going on, waiting for that smoke to dissipate to see if there's a tertiary SKADE member lingering. There isn't, of course. Everybody playing on this A bomb site, with the exception of Duplicate. Fast frag from Ships takes the initiative, and that doesn't quite level up the numbers. But if the bomb is the 4th man, that one certainly does. Relaxer, he goes down as well. Ships does everything there in the afterplant to at least put 1 round on the board there for SKADE.
Yeah, I mean, that's really important, isn't it? If you just go 3-0 down in your first half of OT, it becomes very tricky to get back into. But remember, SKADE, they had a much better CT side here on Dust 2. So, as they move across, there's definitely potential they could take 3 in a row here, at least the 2 needed to take them to double OT. So far, these two sides are just inseparable. Galaxy Racer have looked better in the closing rounds of this match, but certainly the SKADE show for the first 20 or so. Triple AWP setup here for SKADE. This is so bizarre. This could go horribly wrong, or this could work incredibly for them. And they're playing quite aggressive here too. I like this. Denislaw might be able to find this opener.
We saw Denny do this throughout the first half of regulation, looking out towards mid, potentially spotting one. Doesn't this time. Lovely insend forces them into a more uncomfortable situation. Could have been against one of these AWPs. I'm surprised that none of the 3 are watching the middle of the map, instead holding a more passive approach on these bomb sites.
Minute 10 left on this clock. Galaxy Racer starting to lean towards mid once again. We've seen them kind of do this the entirety of their T-half. It's worked really well for them, where they're playing over towards short. They're kind of trying to get through the mid doors. Right now, Flash has come over. First kill comes through. Disco Dot Plan, the man to find it. Takes a little bit of damage himself, but it's all about these openers. And Denny right now needs to hit these shots with the AWP. And he has to be careful as well from defenders coming in from elsewhere. Relaxer. Oh, this is just perfect.
Oh no, this could seal the deal on map point for Galaxy Racer. It would be the first that they found. Denny has the angle though. Double AWPs primed and ready, and they don't check him initially. He needs both of these regardless. Back in towards the middle of the map, the smoke placed in the secondary AWP under heavy pressure. It Ships to connect it, but the B bomb site is fallen. They know where both defenders are, and Ships has to get in here right now. Freddy Frog's actually getting shot by his teammates, but Desmond's going to do one better and hit the headshot. This is the retake that Denny will want to go for. He should know where both players are, and he's going to go right through the Molotov. Dennis knows it, that it's happening, and it's 18 Galaxy Racer.
Well, they've already secured this double OT. One more needed to take it over the top and snatch away a map that they really had no business in winning at one point. The odds were so heavily stacked against them. Look at this. Pleasant, he's pulled out an auto sniper. There's an AK on the floor for him. They're confident they'll be able to take this one.
Damage dealt, long control early. Smokes placed in Disco Doppler right through. He throws one of his own as well to bail his exit. and doesn't find the shot as a retort. SKADE, they want to stay in this opening map. They want to force overtime too.
5v4, Disco Dotplan dropping early. This isn't the start you want if you're Galaxy Racer, especially considering in every one of these rounds that they've won, they've found these opening picks, they've had a fantastic start, and they've kind of played off of the momentum of that. SKADE really reacting nicely to that opening man. Oxygen, though, the issue is he's on 46 points of health, and it's looking like Galaxy Racer, they're about to double dip. Then he needs to connect this shot. Absolutely does. Two-man advantage. He can fall away and allow Oxygen to do the work, and he absolutely does.
And Oxygen, ironically, does feel like the breathing aid of this team, right? Inside the pit on that CT side, he's won them so many rounds, and even another headshot, despite dropping down there, doesn't even matter. Both of these players are low. The round is over. No chance here, especially with Ships pulling the pressure from the back lines. Quick shot. Oh, doesn't get found. That's a mistake from the stand-in. Let's get retorted by Rainwaker, though. And even though his information's given and granted, the flashbang doesn't help him out, but that will be the win there for SKADE. 17-18. It's overtime 2 or bust. We haven't seen 2 overtimes thus far in the EDC 1, or at least the games that we've casted. We've seen single overtimes. We've not seen games go the absolute honker.
Well, quick... It's a tic-tac. It's a tic-tac.
A tic-tac. I like tic-tacs.
It's a tic-tac pause.
Nice and minty.
No, I'm pretty certain this is a tactical timeout. There we go. The technical one disappears. Tactical timeout for Galaxy Racer. They've still got a couple to play with, but this is the time to use one. As you said before.
Tic-tac,
Tic-tac, tic-toc. Both teams get the opportunity to talk in these, so SKADE, this gives them a chance to maybe change up their approach too. This is a must-win round for Galaxy Racer. Otherwise, we are going to double OT, but maybe more of a must-win round for SKADE. They want to try and take this one further.
Let's be honest here, Josh. Galaxy Racer have had this robbed away. It looked like they were going to take a 3-0 half in the first side. Ships basically a masterful performance on that A-bomb side to even give them their 1 T-sided round. I know who I'll be buying beers tonight. At least 4. What a performance he's put into this one. Obviously, just being that 5th member, we said that wouldn't be a liability. 23-24, definitely good enough. He's sitting amongst the top fraggers.
He absolutely is. And as I said before, he's just such a talented player that I don't think that him coming in as a stand-in is too much of a detriment for this SKADE side. The only real issue is that he's standing in for Spellan, who of course is that IGL and brings a hell of a lot to this team.
Can I say again that I love this HUD?
I do. It's nice. It gives you all the info. It gives you
see all the pretty faces as well.
You see all the pretty faces. Yeah, it certainly can't name drop, but it seems like every other, well, not every other tournament, but there are certain HUDs. There are certain HUDs that we work, right? that are frustrating because they don't have the information. You can't see how many kills people have. You can't see what weapons people have sometimes. It's very frustrating. But it's
this might be the
as a
best HUD
caster.
that I've worked with, to be honest.
Yeah, it's lovely as a caster to see it all there. Got all the information.
It's nice. This is a technical. That's not so nice. Not at crunch time, at least. SKADE moving away from the triple AWPs, I must say. Straight to the double. Shouldn't matter. They don't have enough for 3 AWPs as well, so even if it was the priority, you'd think that getting out that utility instead would be the go-to. It is. Everybody with a full set. Duplicate just lacking the incendiary grenade. That's the only nade that they don't have in their arsenal.
Well, finally, we're back and cracking again. 17. This is a must-win round for SKADE. If they can't take it, then they're out of this map, and Dezen opens things up nicely. Oxygen needs to trade it, and he doesn't. He falls too. And SKADE, they are picking at straws right now. It's Duplicate's turn to do the damage, and he's only good for 1.
Those smokes placed actually save his life. Galaxy Racer had a triple peek there. You see that they were frantically looking for that tertiary frag. They couldn't find it. They clung on to long control and Duplicate's face as well. This map might be over, M&J. It's Denny versus 4. Yes, he's got that AWP in hand, but he's in the back lines. This could be the freebie he was looking for and might even want to trade towards this AK-47 to try and get this one done. This is a must-win if SKADE want to take this opening map. It looked like earlier they were an absolute guarantee to take it. They were a lock-in. That hasn't happened. And now Denny with a ferocious challenge, a full set of utility, and 3 players to find, a couple low on HP as he crawls in. He's got an AWP to contend with, in fact, 2 of them, and Disco Joplin's going to take him away. That's Galaxy Racer clutching the map, and how clutch is that?
That is very, very clutch, Squid. Unbelievable. They've pulled it all the way back. I think, what were they, 14-10 down, maybe even 14-9 down? They have a hell of a comeback, bring it into OT, and then take it over the top there. Really, really sensational stuff from Galaxy Racer. But it does put a little bit of doubt in my mind. If they had to fight so hard to take their own map pick, how are they going to do on Mirage?
Yeah, I don't know how they would fare. That is SKADE's map pick, of course, and in a lot of these series, it always feels like a little bit of a dampener when you can't close out, but this time, not at all. Galaxy Racer played some of the best Counter-Strike I've seen all tournament to get back into that matchup, and, well, congratulations to them for showing such mental resilience, because that is something that's very, very hard to do. We go to a second map next. Let's see if SKADE can bring it back right after the break.
Headshot, nice! Fist bumps go to the teammates.
I wanna hear your go, go, go. I wanna see you falling fast. Win the round. Win the game.
Pretty much. They play, you win.
Are here for our second map of this second series of the day to conclude Group B. We're going to be finding out who's going to make the playoffs along with Hellraisers, and this destined to be an exciting one because we've already seen a bout of overtime. Galaxy Racer just taking that one. Now we go on to SKADE's pick. It's Mirage. Really interesting pick, right? Here is Mirage. It's obviously between these two teams. SKADE thinking that they're likely going to win this one, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we've just seen an absolute slogger from Galaxy Racer. They managed to pull back that comeback. I mean, we talked loads about it before we went off for that break, how they came back. They took Dust 2 in overtime. Now they move on to Mirage, though, and this is going to be a really difficult one for them. And as you say, those parry match odds really, really showing that SKADE are the favourites going into this second map. I think so, too. I actually think that considering Galaxy Racer had to fight so hard to take their own map pick, that they are really, really going to struggle on this second map of Mirage. But you mentioned they played incredible Counter-Strike at the end of Dust 2. I think for probably the last 10 rounds of that series, including the OT, they were just unstoppable. So I'm not sure. Maybe they carry that across. Maybe they do have a solid Mirage. It's one they don't have a great track record on, but it's a map that they play a lot. They never ban it out, and they've taken some decent wins against Contact, Illumina, Copenhagen Flames 16-8. So, yeah, it's definitely not one to completely count them out of. The thing that worries me is, what was that, 3 weeks ago? They did play SKADE or Mirage, and they did lose 16-2. So, I don't know.
Yeah, and then these odds obviously live changing on our partners over at Paramatch's website. You can go and take advantage of all of their bonuses here. See Galaxy Racer just slipping through their own pick there of Dust 2. Exciting matchup. And now we go through to map 2. It's SKADE's pick into the pistol.
Yeah, Galaxy Racer starting off on their CT side. The ever so slightly preferred side here most of the time on Mirage. Relaxer just playing this jiggle peak angle towards the ramp, wants to swing out and get the headshot, can't quite connect it, but SKADE looking like they will commit to this A bomb site. The execute comes through, the nades rain over, and this is where the frags need to convert.
Oh my lord, they are Pleasant. 2 headshots, he gets taken away, and SKADE, they have clung on to A, and they're finding the kills as well. Freddy Frog so low on HP, he's going to get his head removed by ships, and what a pistol there from SKADE. Such power onto the A bomb site. You saw Galaxy Racer really struggling to hold on. Everybody apart from Pleasant getting nothing done.
Yeah, a couple of beautiful headshots there from Pleasant, and we often see in these pistol rounds, especially the fast-paced ones like that, really messy engagements and taps left and right of the head, piercing each other's ears. That wasn't the case there. Just swift donk headshots. Beautiful stuff. 1 round on the board here for SKADE. They've got that firepower advantage moving forward. Round number 2, they've got a couple of rifles to work with. That UMP, of course, they've got that C4 down, so extra cash for them to work with. This Galaxy Racer, forced by their own, that only consists of an MP9, couple of Deagles, that Scout on Relaxer. And they play a pretty standard setup. 3 towards this A bomb site, 2 on B, 1 playing aggressive towards short. He's really the man contending mid right now.
I think realistically, this is a scary map for Galaxy Racer. They only are rocking after 11 times played in the last 3 months, a 40% win percentage on the CT side. So I think that pistol very important to take. They haven't. Now the follow-up, the next challenge, which they have invested into. Pleasant at the top of connector here. Doesn't want to get swept away instantly. Needs to stay alive and be a threat on this A site. SKADE need to neutralize him through this middle aggression. This will be the A clamp. I think they're waiting for ships to get into a better position. He's one of 2 players with premium rifles and looking to do the damage into the apartment against Desert. He is trapped in this corner. That will keep the AK-47 wrapped backwards. Oxygen will wait for this smoke to dissipate, and as it does, Pleasant, oh, he wants to get aggressive as well, walking right into the crosshairs, and that gives away the info that Galaxy Racer cannot respond off of, as Freddy Frog gets his head taken away, plucked off, executed. There goes the bomb away, and, well, this looking like a very sharp round from SKADE.
It absolutely is. They are tearing through the defenses right now. And Mirage, despite the fact that it looks similar to Dust 2, they're both very dusty, plays out very, very differently indeed. Especially the way that whole mid dynamic works. Something that the teams really have to contend, and it's difficult to do so. SKADE, convincing round there in the second. Flawless round, in fact, as they go 2-0 up. And those odds ever so slightly shift off the back of it. SKADE, as we mentioned before, they are the firm favourites to take this one. 1.28 to the 3.45 of Galaxy Racer. Make sure if you do want to place a bet on this one, you check out that banner below for your deposit bonus over on Paramatch. They're our partners for the EDC. Make sure you gamble responsibly though, folks, and please be over 18. Galaxy Racer now in the third. Full eco. Pleasant with that kit, of course. Couple of ever so slightly upgraded pistols, but that is going to be it. This should be a clean round for SKADE.
Should certainly be the case. Galaxy Racer have posed a threat previously with just pistols, and did survive with the UMP as well. So if you can find 1 or 2 kills, then there's perhaps an opportunity. But he is towards the opposite side of the map right here. And with SKADE plucking away the faces, that's Oxygen doing the damage. This now gets a lot cleaner here for the Bulgarians. 3-0 a guarantee. As Dezen, does he want to hold on to the UMP? I'm not too sure. Maybe go for the kill bonus. Maybe see if you can prize one of these rifles away from the SKADE members. Next place gives him a little bit of coverage towards the middle of the map to look towards Underpass, where he knows Oxygen is playing previously. Isn't there any longer? He has ran for his life.
Is it still beeping away? He wants to try and get into this one. There's no way he crosses that duplicate, spotting him, and he's going to get a bullet right in the face. And you know, Squid, it's not particularly cold in Bulgaria, is it?
It's a bit
I don't
cold.
think so. Is it a bit cold?
I think it's
not
a bit
like
cold.
Snowy, icy cold, though, is
Not
it?
as cold as my office is.
Oh, right. I was going to say their logo just seems a little bit misleading.
I feel like Bulgaria is cold.
Is it?
Yeah,
Give it a
I
Google.
think so.
Is Bulgaria cold? No, it's 7 degrees right now.
7 degrees.
7
Not
degrees.
exactly sunbathing weather, I must say. Not as
Not snow,
hot as they are on the server, though.
Wow, this is the gun round. This is where it's very, very important for
Or
Galaxy
in the
Racer to come
flesh.
back in.
Looking at some of these player pictures.
Oh, Denny got this angle posted on the CT spawn. There's no AWP available here for Galaxy Racer. They have just gone for this rifle buy. I don't think they could have afforded an AWP if they wanted one. A couple of players with a real lack of utility here. Solid A defense, though. 4 players posted, and this is looking like this might be the end goal for SKADE. Perhaps not. They actually fall back. They might have just baited Galaxy Racer into a bit of a stack here, and they want to just try and isolate Dezen on this B bomb site. We'll have to wait and see. They are setting up for these smokes, so I think this is shaping up to be an A execute. And Galaxy Racer, they're just still guessing.
Their moment to shine. It's showdown time on this A bomb site. The smokes go away. The M4A1S wants to hold them at bay, and it's Relaxer who's yet to frag to try and do the trick. The nades over the top. How do they hold on to this one? It is off the back of Relaxer, perhaps, as he does get swept out of the server by Oxygen. Fast fragging from SKADE. They don't check for Disco Doppler. So through the smoke, Dezen's able to find one in the meantime, and this still is dangerous. 20 seconds. They will hold for that swing from the CT spawn, knowing that Freddy Frog's very low on HP. And watching into the connector, Duplicate snipes away another with that AK. It's a headshot. Very clinical stuff. As Freddy Frog might not have any chance, and he doesn't, as Denny prizes him away from that angle.
Another super dominant round there from SKADE. They do take a couple of casualties towards the end of it, but they still come out on top, and there really wasn't masses of opportunity there for Galaxy Racer to get back in. SKADE built up this bank account so substantially. Many players sitting at that 10k mark, and as they face up against Justin Eco here, a couple of pistols come out, maybe a little bit of Kevlar, not too sure at this point. Yeah, a little bit of Kevlar, 4 players investing in it. But if SKADE can tear through it and have another convincing round, it builds up their bank account further, and they get off to a good start here with the damage.
Easy opening frag. SKADE should remain with a few alive, only dropping the first rifle. That is the floating man, Rainwaker, who's been playing the apartments most of the time. And they've just been allowing Oxygen and ships to run amok over on A. They've been finding all of these opening kills. There are a couple more for the duo. The SKADE are bringing a lot of firepower into this one. And considering that Galaxy Racer found that 6-1 lead on Dust 2, I wonder if they go behind. Can they have the same sort of punching power? I wonder. Freddy Frog, back lines, Deagle in hand, and SKADE as they go for the plant. Will they be watching and waiting for this one? I'm not sure. No, it's their headshot. Shouldn't be too much of a difference maker, though. A 3 versus 3. And here does come the 5-7. Heavy damage dealt. That forces the bomb into a more precarious position. As Ships wants a little more. Maybe they go for the open plant and allow the AWP to hold away the line. They've got other ideas as they want to head to B. That's through the middle of the map. And I don't know if Galaxy Racer are aware that this is happening. He's going to come back up connector. I don't know if they've overthought this situation. But with Denny watching down the palace, Freddy Frog scared to go for the peak. It would be his last move he makes in the round, perhaps, up against the AWP. That did force Disco Doppler away, so I've got to say, good play by SKADE. Gets the bomb down. Galaxy Racer outmaneuvered, and now they need to make their way in against this costly setup. Disco Doppler spots the shoulder, Orp drops, that definitely eliminated, and now Ships, the stand-in, needs 4 kills to bring this one over the top, jiggling the angles, spots out the headshot, and Freddy Frog's gonna fall, Disco goes with him, and SKADE maintain the flawless scoreline.
Oh, that's so unfortunate from Galaxy Racer. That 1 versus 2 was fantastic from Ships, and a little bit of a mistake there from Disco Doppler, and taps the bomb just afterwards, and tries to draw the sad face on Disco Doppler, and he is sad. He is sad about that one. Obviously goes for that secondary tap to draw out the opponent just at the wrong time, and Ships is able to land himself 2 cheeky headshots. 5-0 SKADE, and Galaxy Racer left picking at straws. Double up setup in play. Ships is ready for this aggression towards Underpass, though.
More than ready for it. AK as well, the best weapon to have for the job. Spots out Spready Frog, but it does get traded. Usually favors the T side, with Rainwaker converting another. That definitely does.
Yeah, fantastic start. Gives them a man advantage to work with, of course. And as soon as you spot out that first player, you do often expect there to be a second. But luckily, Ships did have a bit of support.
Are you expecting the third? You see Pleasant just very slowly creeping up Underpass. They're going towards the A site in the meantime, but he's going to get this rotate in. Surely he radios in for the reinforcements. Even if he spots Rainwaker towards mid, this should be a freebie frag. Ooh. Let's see how much noise he makes. This is a game of cat and mouse. Relaxer, speedy shot. And now they should know that this is the A bomb site, and they will have no idea that Pleasant's playing him behind. Denny doesn't even need the support, though, as he finds a headshot right through the box. That's a meaty wallbang. Chicken Whopper, perhaps. 40 seconds now to tick, and Pleasant needs to be the influential man. Spots out that C4, and it will drop out in the open with Disco Doppler compromising into the Palace. Rainwaker versus a pair of them, and they have no idea that he's playing upon the stairs, but it shouldn't even matter. He's under pressure here, Joshua. He needs to go for the bomb and get this C4 away.
I'm actually not sure what Pleasant's going for here. Obviously wrapping around towards middle, get himself a better angle, but in doing so, it gives Rainwaker an opportunity. Lands that first headshot, grabs the bomb, knows that this last man has to be either towards ramp or potentially wrapped around to con. Gets it down just in the nick of time, and as he swings out, he knows exactly what's up, and Rainwaker makes it happen. How on earth do they keep this clean sheet? SKADE, they're 6-0 up, but they've had back-to-back clutch rounds.
And unbelievable ones at that. A pair of 1 versus 2s to carry it through. And Galaxy Racer as a response go for the timeout. I think they need it.
They absolutely do. You see these replays come in. This was Galaxy Racer's round. As I said before, I don't really understand why Pleasant wraps all the way around the back. He can just stay put. There's not a lot of time on the clock. Rainwaker's in an impossible situation, but by Pleasant falling away, he breaks the crossfire and gives Rainwaker an opportunity to isolate those 2 fights. Perfectly played from Rainwaker, and a bit of a mistake from this Swedish side.
Massive mistake. What's the point in throwing the incendiary grenade in the meantime as well? You've got a no gun out when the peak comes through. Hindsight's 2020, much like the worst year we faced. But 6-0, Josh, and here comes the technical pause.
Yeah, quick techie. Hopefully Galaxy Racer sorted out swiftly. With this loss bonus built up. Oh, someone's gone. Someone is gonzo. Who is it?
It's Spellin. Just a little joke, folks. But he is gone as well. That is a correct answer. But not the one we were looking for. You don't win any points.
Doesn't count. Doesn't count. I'm actually struggling with this one.
Pleasant. Desert and Pleasant. Rhyming couplet.
Pleasant. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Well, they're in a position where, because of the loss bonus, they have actually got enough to go for some kind of investment. But I think they should probably half buy here. Go for a full investment in the next. That's where Relaxer can pull out an AWP and they can actually have some healthy utility and whatnot to work with. But they do definitely need to start trying to put some rounds on the board. SKADE's taken 6 already. There should be 7 in the next. That's already a good T-half. Anything beyond that, definitely too many.
You know, Josh, it's very easy to determine the players on Galaxy Racer and remember them because you've got 2 little couplets there. You've got the twins, Relaxer and Freddy Frog. Then you've got Disco Doppler, he's the IGL, everybody knows him. And then Desert and Pleasant, the little rhyming duo.
And he stands out a bit because he's got a beard and a beanie.
He's rocking the hat-beard combination.
He looks a bit like a budget Crims.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a bit harsh.
Muck
Looks cool.
Crims.
Does look like Crims though.
Yeah, in some senses. In another life, maybe a tougher life, without millions of dollars of prize
Maybe
money.
that's just what Swedes look like, man. Not any that I know. I know a fair few Swedish people. They're all blonde and tall. I'm not sure if that's a recurring thing.
I thought you were Swedish when we first met for quite a while as well. I think maybe a couple of weeks. You had to tell me twice that you were British. I think the first time didn't
Unbelievable.
sink in, didn't believe it.
Unbelievable. I actually remember that as well. Like, he's not joking. He genuinely thought I was Swedish for the
weeks.
first couple of weeks of knowing each other. Do I sound Swedish at all? Maybe you could argue that I look a bit Swedish, whatever. But do I sound Swedish whatsoever?
I don't know. I had looked at lots of pictures of you, M&J, and just the Swedish vibe came out.
Fine, whatever.
How is Stockholm?
Don't know, bro. Never been.
Never even been there.
Never even been.
Fake Swedes, 6-0 on the board. SKADE, a great start. Exactly what you need after just losing on your opponent's map pick. An OT as well. This could have been the 2-0 on the board, remember. If they had been able to find that. We know the Overpass is coming up next. That was a 16-3 yesterday. You talked about a previous SKADE Galaxy Racer 16-2 result on Mirage. So when you're losing 2 maps by taking only 5 rounds, never usually a scoreline to brag about.
Yeah, it really isn't, is it? The last couple of times, I am quite surprised, because the last couple of times that Galaxy Racer have played against SKADE, they've actually been, like, destroyed. We saw the last time these two teams played on Mirage, SKADE won at 16-2. Last 2 times these 2 teams played on Overpass, which was only yesterday, SKADE won at 16-3. So for Galaxy Racer to put up such a fight on Dust 2 and actually take the map really does surprise me a little bit. But as we get onto Mirage and it's super one-sided, that doesn't really surprise me. And I actually wouldn't be massively surprised if we see the same on Overpass. We're just going to have to wait and see.
Well, here's a little shout out to our partners over at Hullcase. You can go down to the banners below to take advantage of those coupon codes. You've got BLCKD 15, I think that was. Like blocked 15, but without the O. Similar to what I do to half of the people who tweet at me.
Oh. That is toxic, bro. Toxic. How can you block so many people? I don't have any... Actually, I do have a few people blocked, but not many people. I don't have many people blocked.
The one that I really appreciate is the muted list, because they don't even know that they're muted. You hit the unfollow button, they never notice. The mute button as well is so good, so juicy. You don't get any other notifications or anything, and they will never, ever know. So amazing. The power.
Everybody muted. Squid loves his peace and quiet.
He does. That's why he shouts so much. Looking like an impossible round here. You see the Galaxy Racer just get prized apart, and honestly, a very uninteresting round there for Galaxy Racer. Right after the technical pause, you would have thought that they would have actually had a conversation about what was going wrong, try and plug up some of those gaps, maybe get the AWPs out, but they're in the same situation again, M&J, where, yep, the Deagles will come out in the next couple of saved rifles, and SKADE on an absolute tear. They're ripping the limbs away, maybe something to do with hamstrings. I don't know. I'm not much of an exercise expert. Most exercise I get is lifting a burger to my face.
Nice.
It's a big heavy burger though, so you get those abs.
I don't get any exercise nowadays, man. I don't think my heart rate has gone over like probably 70 BPM all of this year. No way. Other than when I'm in like a clutch, but I don't even think that gets my heart rate going anymore.
Doesn't feel like it did before. Not like a series like this that is starting to heat up. 7-0 SKADE. Dominant performance. Relaxer tries to spray all 25 bullets right through, and that is a blind shot onto Pleasant in the meantime. Definitely a bit of a stumbling block here for Galaxy Racer that they have to get over, and I don't know how they're going to manage that. It has to be off the back of individual plays. I want to see the likes of Disco Doplam step up, who's been such a massive member in this tournament, but this is almost certainly going to go 8-0 here. even with the janky shots from the apartments.
Yeah, it does just feel like SKADE have just been pinpoint accurate, hitting some incredible shots, and then even when they don't, and it's a bit janky, like just like there, Galaxy Racer just haven't even been capitalizing. Disco Doppler was in a prime position where they'd missed an entire mag on him. He could have got himself 1 or 2 kills. Doesn't come through. B site just crumbles. And SKADE aren't even letting them save right now. They know that Galaxy Racer have no money after this investment, so they're just hunting for all of these rifles. Even if Freddy Frog stays alive, they're not going to be able to pull out too much in the next, but they do want to strip away this rifle. They know if they do so, it will almost certainly just be a half buy for Galaxy Racer in the next, and that could put them onto 9. So, yeah, a lot on the line here, of course.
And by the way, if you're at home, you haven't played lots and lots of Counter-Strike, maybe not at the professional level, look at what SKADE are doing right now on this T side, because it's really interesting, the way that they're controlling the pace, these executes, how they're setting up their smokes. You could definitely learn something from these guys. We see a lot of the observers all of the time are watching out for those smokes to be thrown. Look at the lineups, because they seem to have their Mirage completely on lockdown. And I would say that Mirage, Inferno, both very Bulgarian maps. We see a lot of those teams play it. I would say Overpass as well is the one synonymous with that ex-Outlaws squad, one that EG now play as well with Cirque in the mix. And this is looking like a 9-0 start. The Desert Eagles through. Last round, a bit of overzealous investment. And even with this map control, it's just not going to be found because SKADE have the building blocks all over the map to deal with this aggression. Firstly into Underpass, then Duplicate holding outside the ramp just to rip some Galaxy Racer faces off their skulls.
Yeah,
Halloween
it's pretty
style.
incredible. We haven't seen any ramp pushes here at all from Galaxy Racer, so the fact that they anticipate it in a round like this is just fantastic. Of course, Ships at the start of this round too, just darting into Underpass. He gets rid of Freddy Frog. He was the only man with the rifle to work with. And SKADE just in such a strong position right now. Oxygen on the other side of this vent. He might actually get caught in the back lines by Dessen. Instead, Disco Doppler takes him out, brings things back into a 3-on-3, gives them an AK to work with. But they've already got this B site. Look at Rainwaker's position.
And inside the A-apps as well, inside Palace, running the diversion, it's perfect. Bomb can go away, and SKADE looking like a lock for number 9 here. And this was a half buy for Galaxy Racer. They didn't bring too much into it. Yes, Disco Dublin's been spotted, so this scenario should be over, and it is with Rainwaker's swing outwards. SKADE could very easily take double digits before Galaxy Racer get off the starting grid. And this is starting to look spooky and scary and not nice.
Scary and spooky and not nice.
Yeah, very technical terms.
I mean, I can't help but agree with you.
I thought that we had seen one before, but this taking 0 timeouts so far, this being their first, is a break of pace. I can actually see this is their second tack, so I don't want to bash them too hard. But yeah, this is actually the second tactical that they've taken.
Okay, not too bad. If it was their first when they're 9-0 down, then yeah, there's definitely cause for concern there, but that's not the case. And well, there's the Paramatch banner on your screen. If you do want to place a bet on this match or the following map, considering SKADE are looking like they should be able to take this one or any other match in the EDC, then make sure you check out those banners below and head over to Paramatch where you'll get that deposit bonus. Make sure you're 18 and gamble responsibly, folks. As we get into round number 10, SKADE, they're looking to extend this flawless lead, but they do have to contend with this double AWP setup from Galaxy Racer. They have got all the tools now to work with off the back of a double eco.
And now that Galaxy Racer have taken another tactical timeout, SKADE will slow away the pace. They'll make them stew, question what was just said there by Disco Doppler, and feel out for the setup. What's changed, lads? Is it going to be some mid-aggression? Is it going to be something a little more fluid? It's not. Just playing passive with the double AWPs. 70 seconds left to be played, and SKADE already taking mid-control. Galaxy Racer doing absolutely nothing to contend with this. So already inside the ladder room, this is a great little benchmark to take a bomb site with. And Disco Doppler missing that shot. Oh no, it's awkward.
Much slower stuff. 50 seconds now on this clock, not a single engagement taken. Just over a minute's passed, and Oh, the only damage dealt is onto Denny, who's down to 50 points of health. Pleasant dancing around the edge of this smoke. He's playing a dangerous game. Ships is up close and personal. Not anticipating this angle just yet. And Freddy Frog, I don't actually like this close angle, and that is exactly why. Denny spots the shoulder, and Freddy Frog, there's nothing he can do. I don't know why players play that angle so often.
Well, if you play a lot of Mirage, the tip is you don't play that angle, because that's what happens. If you've got a competent AWPer, he's going to be watching all of those corners. Disco Doppler, one frag. It might be a consolation prize. The double AWPs, they surely have to save. This will be an impossible retake with the snipers, especially with Oxygen. He's been in ladder room. I talked about it since the very start. Shadow spotted, frag found, and that is the AWP. Gonzo, only Relaxer holding one. He is going to put it to good use, and there's the Emperor S for another. They know where Oxygen's playing from, and with a sniper in hand himself, he does find a quick flick inwards, and a follow-up. Relaxer's going to drop. That's the double AWPs going to absolute waste. And SKADE already double digits before Galaxy Racer even get off the starting grid. It's like they didn't even bother showing up.
Yeah, this has been incredibly one-sided here on Mirage. A flawless double digits. And every man, before they invested into this one, were on that 5-figure mark here for SKADE. It is going to be another eco force here for Galaxy Racer. Of course, they've got that max loss bonus, so they never have to go for a full eco, but just the Deagles and the Kevlar, it's not actually worked out for them whatsoever in any of these rounds at all. SKADE should be able to take an 11th unless something goes horribly wrong, and they're not taking any chances either. Oxygen re-smoking window, doesn't want to take that firefight even against the Deagle. They're just playing this one slow, methodical, don't want to make any mistakes. They don't want to give Galaxy Racer an opportunity to take a round and actually get back into this one. They want to just try and close this one out 16-0 if possible.
You've said it. No.
Yeah, I know. It's always the curse, isn't it? 100% Galaxy Racer will now win this round just because that's my luck. But I'm not too sure.
As a certified caster approved by the board of casting casters and commentators, you have that power of the caster curse. Disco Doppler by the van. Ooh, couple of headshots. And maybe the curse is going to reappear. These Desert Eagles doing the damage. And unreal. We called it. The caster curse. And how do we undo this? Do we have to say a spell? Do we have to stir a cauldron? I am
Squid,
just not sure. I think we need to do some voodoo magic to bring this one back, or Rainwaker needs to do something catastrophically good. And, oh, no, Pleasant whiffs the first, flashbang over the top. Does the bomb go down? Of course, money's not an issue, but with Pleasant closing in, he's on such low HP here, and that flashbang's not going to do anything. The AWP certainly will. And what have you done, M&J Casts?
Squid, I'm scared.
You're scared. You should be. Twitch chat at M&J Casts for all of your hate.
There's a higher power, Squid. There has to be.
That's slightly unreal, isn't it? Slightly
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I hope people are angry at you. What have you done?
How does it always happen, man? That's so crazy. Anyway, whatever. Round number 12, SKADE. They're still miles in the lead. I don't think there's any cause for concern just yet. 10-1. They are leading, and Pleasant, well, he's got himself a pretty funky angle, dancing around these smokes in mid, but I don't think it's going to work out for him whatsoever. SKADE are actually heavily presenced over towards this B-bomb site. Smokes are placed, so they are kept at an arm's length for now, but I think they are just going to burst through and try and get these 2 opening kills needed, and the flashes should allow them to do so.
The rotate's a million miles away, and with ships taking away both headshots, how has he done this all series? We saw it on Dust 2, almost won them the map. We can see now that that would have likely been the 2-0, but Overpass firmly on the cards, and not just a probability, but seems to be a guarantee. 11-1 for SKADE.
Yeah, this is, of course, just going to be a save here for Galaxy Racer. They know that if they don't save this one, they're going to be back down to the Deagles in the next, more than likely. So carry these rifles across does give them a full investment moving forward. Ships wants to get rid of them, though. They've got so much money here on this SKADE side. There is absolutely no point in not going for this hunt. And if they can get rid of this AWP on Relaxer, this would be impactful. They might not be able to buy one going into the next. In fact, he could actually afford another one, so it doesn't make a huge amount of difference. nonetheless, 11-1. This is very, very one-sided still.
Always feels a little bit scary to be spending all of that money, even if you've got the max loss bonus. You want to be keeping it buoyant. And even though he saved the AWP, due to the rifle drops for, I think, Disco Doppler and Dezen, he still only has $1,200. So this wouldn't have been a full investment here for Galaxy Racer regardless, not at least without all of the utility. Tough stuff. SKADE back to the A-bomb site. This is where they go for their set piece. And watch these smokes, by the way. Watch where they land. This will be flawless. There's no way that they miss even one of them. They've been absolutely flawless every single time. And that's considering they've got ships in the roster. He's playing at the other side of the map. So he's not even being used in this execute. And look at that smoke. Just blocks off the AWP. Relaxer doesn't spot anything whatsoever. And neither does Freddy Frog. There is a bit of a gap right underneath. But the AK just going for guessing right here, and well, he's going to get his head ripped clean off of his shoulders. Galaxy Racer, a 5 versus 4 retake.
How do they get back into this one? Have they even let this happen? Of course, they are playing for the retake right now. They've got the utility to work with to get their way back in. But SKADE, such a solid defense, and all of the rifles, all of the weaponry to work with, all of the HP too. But Dezen opened things up nicely, brings it into a 4-on-4, and they're falling like flies right now. This might come through.
Then he's got the angle with the AWP and actually catches Disco Doppler out of midair. Back to the pistol to finish off the 12th.
Unbelievable. Just drop into the bomb at the end, but it won't matter. They've got so much money. It's round number 14. They can, of course, reinvest. How on earth? That falling shot was just sensational from Denny, and then switching to the clock. That's always the right play. Just a little quick tip out there for all of you. If you're on a 1 versus 1 and someone's in a smoke on the bomb, you don't fire through with the AWP. It takes too long to pull back that bolt. So if you miss, it's round over. Switch to your pistol, whatever it may be, and spam away. That's what he does so perfectly. Gets him off the bomb just in the nick of time, and that's going to be 12 here for SKADE.
What a scoreline this is. Even if it finishes 12-3, this is still a monumentally big half. We've seen SKADE do this all the tournament, and they don't ever seem to slow down once they grab hold of it. Freddy Frog, oh no, he gets absolutely blistered out of the server, and now Relax's AWP wants to stand up to the task. He's been Molotov'd inwards, needs the smoke grenade as the support. Well, that's going to block all of the visual for both him and Disco Doppler. They're going to spot absolutely nothing before this bomb comes through. Unreal. This half has been so brutal. They don't even see Disco, do they? That Molotov pops literally in his face. Oh, no. How could it go any more badly? How could this go any more badly?
Yeah, it doesn't get much worse than this, does it? Dezen just with this MP9. I think he maybe just wants to try and retrieve a different rifle. Maybe save it. I think he's just going for an exit frag right now. Maybe he'll try and burst in and get on the defuse, but he has no kit, so that's not massively viable either. It's going to be 13-1 for SKADE. More than likely a 14-1 when you look at the cash on this Galaxy Racer side. He is actually going to jump on the bomb, but he has no kit, so no chance for that one. Then he's going to take him out. SKADE on to 13. What was it last time? 16-2?
Yes, you said 16-2, and this has the potential to be similar or even more one-sided. You wouldn't think that would even be possible after OT on map 1. But SKADE just seemed like a very different team, even with us standing in the midst.
Absolutely, yeah. I was really thinking that 16-2 would have just been a one-off thing, especially after seeing Galaxy Racer on Dust 2. But no, SKADE are just so incredible at Mirage, and Galaxy Racer, they are seriously lacking. Following that law, we might see a one-sided overpass too.
I would hope
any way back in
not,
for the Swedes.
Because this series has the potential to be really close, really decent, but here, lesser weapons, Galaxy Racer, maybe with a final round shut away. I think that might even just be Yakut's law at this point. 13-2 a possibility, but nothing to celebrate. Put the champagne away. Because this has been a pretty horrendous half for Galaxy Racer. No celebrations, no party hats, no birthday cake.
They got another map to play as well, so maybe not the champagne just yet.
No mistletoe.
They're going to be kissing.
And they could be kissing dirt here. Denny coming around in this corner. Great shot. Knows that there's a second here. Here's the footsteps, and the pop through the smoke isn't going to be successful. Disco Doppler, lovely headshot, and now to challenge the sniper. Denny finds it, and that might even give the bomb down. He will look into the apartments, but no idea where Relax is playing from, and he will catch him by surprise to end proceedings in the first half of Mirage.
That's unfortunate. I'm not really sure what his plan was there, going back into the apartments. Didn't have time to rotate back around. There was an AK on the floor on the site, so it wasn't for a weapon. I don't really know. Unfortunate, though. Does put Galaxy Racer onto 2, but still an incredibly one-sided half for SKADE. And, well, there's your para match bonus once again. There's the banner. Make sure you check them out in the banners below the Twitch stream. If you do want to head over to Paramatch and place yourself a bet, you get yourself a nice deposit bonus. Make sure you're 18. Gamble responsibly, of course. If SKADE can take this pistol round, I actually think that they just close this one out, and we might even see that aforementioned 16-2. Only way back in for Galaxy Racer right now is if they do convert this pistol, and then they've just got to close their eyes and keep their fingers crossed.
Dips in duplicate, the two players holding, and under dark it isn't going to get checked, so only one frag found. And Galaxy Racer, yes, they've taken this bomb site, but when will the C4 go down in a way? They're not checking their corners, though, and Denny too fast frags definitely puts this one back in contention. Bomb down in the meantime, and Relaxer wants to get aggressive with a P250. He gets punished, and the flank is going to be exceptionally speedy, but Denny doesn't care. A quad kill, a 14th on the board, and SKADE approaching map points.
Yeah, Freddy, he's just a sitting duck there as well. Doesn't even jiggle or move, so just posted on that angle, desperate to hit the headshot. It's not connecting at that kind of range, and SKADE can just jiggle peek and continue to pre-fire the head. SKADE now onto 14. It has to be a force buy here for Galaxy Racer. If they go for an eco in this one, SKADE get onto map point. They are going to have that lesser investment. And this is the second round of the half, and Denny's actually pulled out an AWP. This is so crazy. Look at this buy from SKADE. How do they have so much money?
It is the quad kill, the power. He actually
quad.
does have body armor as well, so, and a smoke grenade. So I don't know if there's a magic money tree sitting in that CT spawn. I know that there are palm trees, but I thought that if anything, maybe they were sprouting oranges. Apparently, sprouting paper.
Yeah, and plates and money printers, a whole mint going on over in that CT spawn, because I don't get it. They have all rifles. It's not like there's one guy dropped down to a pistol or anything like that. This is just a really, really solid investment here from SKADE. And it's right to go for this kind of investment too, because they know that Galaxy Racer are going to buy up everything they can. And with that bomb plant, that's going to be Galils and a couple of AKs. So they have the tools to contend with it. No real utility on the server, though. There's 2 smokes and a few flashbangs to work with, and that is all for both sides. As Galaxy Racer start to converge in on this A site.
That should be a guaranteed kill for Freddy Frog. Instead, he's the one taking the damage. And Pleasant, yes, he does find one in the meantime, but with Dennis AWP holding them back, they have cracked open this A bomb site close to the TK. Doesn't matter. Bomb can go away. It's Denny falls also. 4 versus 1. We won't see a repeat performance. Maybe we curse that one as well, ladies and gents. 14-3 will at least be the scoreline.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. I'm just not going to say anything about the scoreboard anymore. Anything.
Usually not what you want from a commentator. Keep your mouth shut. Even though Twitch chat might disagree.
You can cast the rest.
Just me. I think Twitch chat would definitely not like that. Why do we have to have the annoying shitey one? Bring back the Swede.
Oh man, I curse
So
everything.
do you go home to Stockholm for Christmas? Or do you stay in the UK?
I've never been to Stockholm. Even if I was Swedish, I wouldn't be from Stockholm.
Where would you be from?
I don't know. I've been to Malmo.
Oh, I've been to Malmo for DreamHack.
No, actually. I did want to go to Malmo for a DreamHack, but no, just with friends.
14-3 then. And SKADE, they should surely go for the force buy in this one. It's a double eco territory maneuver anyway, so winning the pistol, losing the follow-up always puts you in this awkward situation. Very close to nailing the headshot onto Relaxer there. You saw that was a whisker away. The crosshair looked dead on, maybe the movement troubling him.
Oh, Disco Doppler. And he has spotted out that man towards the ladder room. And they do actually have a big firepower advantage here moving into this one. So you'd expect them to take the round, but the double kill coming through for the Deagles. They now have this advantage. There's a real chance for them here. The unfortunate factor is that none of those rifles are retrievable.
They need to check for ships. They seem to know that he's towards shore. Of course they do. He's already found a kill. 16 HP means a body shot can take him out of the server. And with Rainwaker eliminated, they still know that there's further pressure here from SKADE. Both players, in fact, here. And Descent should be able to take away everybody. He still knows that ships is a threat. So with the Famous no HP, we'll surely just go in for this one. Roll the dice. With the Molotovs placed onto short, he will get the early rotate in. He's got a molly of his own, remember. And with Freddy Frog watching down the cross, that will be Galaxy Racer onto 4, potentially 5.
Yeah, more than likely 5 here. This should just be a full eco from SKADE. They put up a valiant fight, but Desmond was just too strong. In a scenario like that, there was potential that he drops to that FAMAS. I think it was Rainwaker who had that FAMAS in hand. And all of a sudden it becomes a 3-on-2. They've got that B control. They can go for the hard rotation. Unfortunately, just not the case. Now the mid stack and they should just get mowed down. Or maybe Galaxy Racer just fall away. Throw the Molotovs. Get out of there. Get that C4 planted.
To be honest, M&J, I think in an ordinary round, you might even face that. Just a bit of PM, but Galaxy Racer have no margin for error. They lose 1 here, and it's map point for SKADE, and we're looking down the barrel of Overpass. So they need 11 in a row to close this out in regulation. We've seen it before in the history of Counter-Strike. Maybe not in the history of the EDC.
Many needed. Preferably 11, to be honest. Before SKADE can find 2. I think that's certainly going to be tricky, especially as Pleasant takes some early damage from that incendiary, keeps him away. Denny, nice opening pick too. That gets Disco Doppler out of the equation. Relaxer desperate to try and trade this one out, but Duplicate up close with this smoke. Could just push right through and end things, and as it starts to dissipate, Relaxer spots it out. That's so unfortunate. Levels out these numbers, 4-4. No one's there to support, especially as ships drops. This is going wrong. It's going horribly wrong for SKADE.
It definitely is. Galaxy Racer playing a very standard T-side, waiting for these peaks and punishing the aggression when it's coming in. SKADE not knowing it. I'm sure they'll be far more aware as they go through to the future gun rounds. That's if they cannot pull back this 3 versus 4. Looks like Relaxer has that angle under post with the AWP, so with a flashbang in towards the ladder room, and he does fully eat that one. Obviously forces him off the angle and makes him place down the only smoke grenade that they've got in their arsenal. So the A bomb site, this crunch coming in. Denny surely gets just taken down here. He does. Pleasant able to end him. The bomb will go away, and this will be a 6th.
This is pretty crazy that Galaxy Racer are even pulling their way back into this one right now. They were, what, 14-2 down? Just incredible. Of course, I've only brought back a few. Certainly not in contention just yet. I'm not getting excited, but there is an opportunity. They're not going to be up against a whole lot going into the next, so certainly could get themselves onto 7. 7 in a row, certainly not as daunting as 12. That would be to level out this scoreline.
Not on the edge of my seat yet, M&J. Even though that's not possible, because on this new Herman Miller chair that I just purchased, if you sit on the edge of the seat, it's very uncomfortable. 21 rounds in, and SKADE still a massive lead. You're expecting them to take it at some point, but when will that be? Obviously a confidence builder if you can close it out early here on your pick. Going on to Overpass next. They had that big 16-3 victory yesterday. Looking to replicate that to solidify a spot in the playoffs against a Hellraisers team that they did play in a winner's bracket matchup, losing against. Obviously, if you qualify from each group, you get put other side of the bracket, so you wouldn't face each other apart from in a potential grand final scenario.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm actually really surprised that Hellraisers put up the fight that they did. yesterday. When I look at this group, I'd actually consider them as one of the weaker teams, if
Yep.
not the weakest. So the fact that they literally wrecked everybody, I don't think they dropped a single map, is pretty incredible. I'm actually very, very impressed, and I'm excited to see them moving forward.
I'll be honest, we've casted the Hellraisers team quite a lot, and at times they've looked like by far the weakest team in the tournaments. And that's fairly low tier opposition as well. So the EDC, I would say that it's far more competitive than a lot of the other tournaments that we've seen Hellraisers play in. And realistically, great performance in MDL, great performance here at the EDC, and that's what this tournament's all about, showing performances from those teams that maybe we haven't noticed so much over the last months. This should be 7 for Galaxy Racer, and looking clinical. They've got the surgical gloves on. All of the frags going their way. It's a yellow scoreboard.
Oxygen, he's just going to have to fall right back and save this M4A4. You know what's really scary? Just a final point.
Is it
final
ghosts?
closing point about Hellraisers, right? Do you know what's really scary about
Ghosts.
Hellraisers? What was that?
I said ghosts. Is that what's
Ghosts.
really scary?
Ghosts are pretty scary, bro. But Hellraisers yesterday beat SKADE 16-6 on Mirage and then 16-7 on Dust 2. And that was their 2-0. That is insane.
And we've seen both of those maps. And SKADE looked competitive on both of them.
Absolutely, yeah. I wouldn't even expect Hellraisers to win a series like that, especially not even letting their opponents get onto double digits in either of the maps. That is really, really incredible. And yeah, as I say, I'm super excited to see them face up against other teams in this playoffs bracket. We do have to see who's going to be joining them first, though. Right now, it's looking like SKADE should be able to take Mirage, but Galaxy Racer, they're putting up a fight. Perhaps delaying the inevitable. We'll have to wait and see. Nice bit of aggression here from Denny towards top mid. Players are well aware of it. Surely gets faced, and when he does, maybe punished. Or just narrowly missing. Denny can't stick around. Has to fall away.
That's awkward. No contention from underpass means that Galaxy Racer, they don't need to trade it. He didn't find one kill, but does allow his exit. That could have been the easy opener.
You're absolutely right there. They're actually playing a dangerous game. They had no presence towards underpass, so there was real potential that Denny just gets swung. As soon as they spot it out, Disco top plan, maybe if he's a little bit earlier, swings out, finds a freebie. The support was on short, so no way that he could have denied the underpass player. And it's looking like Galaxy Racer are trying to go for this mid control. They've smoked off window. They've got 2 players in under now. But with 50 seconds on this clock, they definitely need to get a move on.
This A-take via connector has been very successful, but Ships shutting down the first through the smoke, not spotting anything, is definitely a difference maker. Disco decides to take control into window, and Rainwaker has no idea that he's lingering in behind. Galaxy Racer applying the clamp. There's the headshot. They've still got 3 defenders to deal with, and how is that frag stolen away by Ships? Another one found. That's a triple kill from the stand-in, as he is doing everything on the shutdown. A quad kill for map points.
And that is why you give Ships that secondary AWP. He's on 25 frags right now. And as you say, hits the stand-in, leading the charge here for this SKADE roster. Absolutely sensational stuff. Map point here for SKADE. And you see those power match odds coming up. Or not the odds, the banner coming up on your screen, of course. If you do want to place a bet on this match, there's probably not many rounds left in it. Or the map afterwards, any other future games in the EDC, make sure you head over there and use that banner below the Twitch stream for your deposit bonus. Ships once again,
no.
oh my, opening things up. Just whiffs on the second shot.
Felt like he could have found both of those as well. With short completely under lockdown, you do have Oxygen still lying in wait on the B bomb site, and it looks to be a repeat of history. The A bomb site again, no surprises here for SKADE, as Disco Doppler in the rear does catch Duplicate completely off guard. And on the A bomb site, Freddy Frog a secondary angle. That smoke placed meant no information, and SKADE do have to bail. And remember, the money isn't very good either, so even if they do force the issue into the next, it will not be with the snipers.
Yeah, they certainly don't have enough to afford them, so just those rifles, maybe they could try and snatch away an AWP. Not sure if one's retrievable. Galaxy Racer. Yeah, they are just really putting up a fight here on their T side, and Mirage does look much better than their defensive side. Of course, they need 8 in a row. Probably 7 after this one, just to take it to OT. I really don't see that happening personally, but it doesn't mean that they should just concede. Of course, every round that they put up is a little bit of a confidence builder and a little bit of a confidence basher for their opponents. Oxygen has found himself an AWP. He can carry that across into the next, maybe drop it over to Denny, and that would be quite impactful for them.
And let's be honest, here, Galaxy Racer, probably one of the more clutch teams in this tournament. We have seen comebacks from them before. We saw one last map on Dust 2. Not this big, but we know that they have that mental resilience to take it one step at a time, one round at a time. Just get the job done, even against double snipers, whatever SKADE have to throw at you. The potential favorites in this series. This time, they do throw at least one of the rifles down the drain. It will be a non-issue with so much money. Galaxy Racer, they can buy up whatever happens with a couple of $1,000s in the reserve at least. 7 remain, and SKADE going to take their first tack.
Yeah, they just need a little bit of time to work out how they actually want to close this one out. This is, their first tack of the entire map. They haven't needed one until this point. They do actually have enough to buy here. They can do a bit of weapon juggling. Denny can drop an M4. In fact, he's got to get himself some util. So yeah, he can drop an M4. Ships has got himself an AWP. Duplicate can buy. Yeah, they've got more than enough to go for a full investment here. So they'll be more than happy moving into this one. But this is where they want to try and close it. They won't have any money after this round. So if Galaxy Racer take it, they should be able to get themselves onto 10. And then all of a sudden, a 15-10 scoreline. Oh, it's not impossible to come back from, and it's certainly acceptable here for Galaxy Racer, considering they were so far down. So, all does come down to this one at this point. SKADE might just be able to close it right here, right now.
Certainly not. 15-10, you're only a couple of buys away from the finish line, but with Denny hitting these opening shots, that makes the comeback that much harder. And after a tactical, you know that SKADE are going to have these building blocks in place to take those opening frags, to turtle down into more defensive setups, and to take that 1 point needed to get them to 16.
This man advantage for SKADE. This is their best chance of closing this one out. They've got this stack over towards the A site. Might be where Galaxy Racer are heading as they've taken this mid control. That incendiary going into the bottom of connector, though, does add complications to things. 50 seconds on this clock. Denny only needs to swing out an inch further, and he'll catch out Relaxer on this AWP. That could be the difference maker. Pleasant is watching for it, of course, but just connects the tag.
Incredibly awkward, doesn't take a second swing, knows that he's running into that AK-47 ships, just jumping for that information, knows that he can't peek either with 18 HP. The double set configuration from SKADE inside a ramp means that this bomb site is still under their control, and with Denny finding another one from short, these are blind shots to try and push this one over the top. Ship, surprise, surprise, he's been the main man since the start, and straight through the smoke to finish. It's 16-8 as SKADE take us the distance. Surprise, Josh. We always knew we were going here.
Absolutely, yeah. As soon as Galaxy Racer took that first map of Dust 2, we knew we were going to the third. And yeah, SKADE quite comfortably take us there. It was looking a little bit contentious towards the end. Galaxy Racer were bringing rounds back. But, I mean, what was it? A 13-2 half? There's no way you're coming back from that, especially after the pistol going their way. So, yep, second map going their way, 16-8, pretty dominant overall. We will be going to overpass as the third. And to be honest, I'm not really too sure who will take it. If history repeats itself, then it should be SKADE. I think they are the favourites in this series. But Galaxy Racer, they've definitely been putting up a fight. And we did see them on Overpass earlier, where they looked pretty good.
And this is my main problem with this series. Why isn't Overpass banned after that 16-3 yesterday? I hope they've dug through the demos, especially in maybe the hour earlier. We will go to a quick break. Remember, all of this action from the European Development Championships brought to you by Gaming Malta, the home of gaming excellence. We're going to a third map after this. Welcome back, everybody. You're watching the European Development Championship, all brought to you by Gaming Malta, the home of gaming excellence. We've got a third map, MJ. It's always where we were going for this one, surely, between SKADE and Galaxy Racer. They both want to get into these playoffs with Hellraisers.
They absolutely do, yeah, of course. Well, it's the third map. I mean, this is unbelievable. We've seen some really, really strong counters, right? First map, we saw overtime. We saw back and forth rounds to get us to overtime. We saw quite a dominant performance from SKADE earlier on. Then they kind of pulled it back, and it was this real slog of a series where Galaxy Racer did manage to actually pull off a pretty incredible comeback. Go into that second map, and Mirage much, much more one-sided. Galaxy Racer did show glimmers of hope towards that second half when they're on that T side, but that was all. It was just glimmers, and now we get onto Overpass. And I mean, you talked before about the fact that you're surprised that Overpass wasn't banned out because of the last time they played it. Literally yesterday, they lost 16-3. However, when you look at Galaxy Racer's map pool, they can't really afford to ban out an Overpass. You see that their permaban is obviously Nuke, and then you see Vertigo. They're really not very good at Vertigo. They've won it 2 times out of the 8 they've played it in the last 3 months. Their Mirage isn't really great either. So to ban out an Overpass, which statistically is actually one of their best maps, yeah, it wouldn't really be the smartest move. But as we go into this one, you see those paramatch odds at the bottom of your screen. SKADE, definitely the favourites to win this Overpass map, and definitely the favourites to actually win this series in its entirety, of course. What are you thinking though, Squid?
I'm thinking that the last time these two teams played Overpass, SKADE 15-0'd that first half on the CT side. That's never a good sign, and I'm scared for Galaxy Racer, surprised that the odds are this close, based on that performance that happened quite literally yesterday. They absolutely bulldozed. It was probably the most convincing half of the tournament. Well, definitely wasn't it? 15-0, as good as it gets, really. And your CT side as well, that is something that is replicatable here today. And, well, realistically, you've got those over-under odds as well. I think that was over 26.5, so just deciding that this was going to be a closer map, perhaps, instead of the overall map winner. Expecting this one to maybe go the distance, perhaps.
Maybe. I mean, obviously, when you look at the last matchup they played, that 16-3, that 15-0 half, you really don't expect it to go the distance. But from the 2 maps that we've seen so far, I personally do. I think that we saw that massive comeback on Dust 2. We saw Mirage follow suit with that. I think that would have been a much greater comeback had they not have had such a terrible first half. I mean, literally going 14-2 down. Whatever kind of comeback you pull, you're not going to be able to take it the distance, because there has to be a little bit of a margin for error. But here, as we get kicked off on Overpass, SKADE actually starting off on this CT side, the one that they took those 15 rounds on previously. So yeah, this has got to be spooky right now for Galaxy Racer. They're playing very, very slow and disciplined to kick things off. I like this boost towards Playground, but no one on SKADE getting aggressive, so it won't actually merit them any frags. Oxygen with that kit and smoke to work with.
Let's be honest, this pistol might be worth absolutely everything, especially for Galaxy Racer. If they get off to a bad start like they did yesterday, then that deja vu might creep in. This pistol so important. Freddy Frog already out towards the B bomb site. Nobody here for SKADE. Only Oxygen inside of Heaven.
Maybe a little bit of a mistake. It's often quite difficult to retake this B bomb site, especially against the Glock. So to go for this A stack, they are already putting all of their eggs in one basket, and it's not going to pay off. As the smoke starts to rain over, Oxygen's going to relay this information, and all of a sudden it's panic mode. SKADE desperate for this rotation. Oxygen needs to find himself 1 or 2 here to keep this one at bay before the rotations come through, and he's not good for anything.
And that kit has now gone awry as well. So with Galaxy Racer maybe putting together this pistol, that would still be a better performance already than what they did yesterday. Denny trying to breach in, but how do they get back into this one? That kit is down inside of practically the CT spawn. It is a million miles away. How do they get back into this one? The double peak comes in, and Dezen does finally get taken down. Here, a 2 versus 2, but not much time on the board, and this will be a full 10-second defuse if they even get it. It's a decoy to force them off at the angle, and Pleasant to hit their headshot. Galaxy Racer already mounting more than they did on the T side yesterday.
Oh, the fake flash certainly fooled me too. I was actually expecting that to be a flashbang as well. SKADE, not really the best of pistol rounds. I don't really like that A stack, I'll be honest. Maybe a bit of a counter strat, but of course, even though it's only a day, perhaps enough time for Galaxy Racer to go back, watch that demo, work out what went wrong on Overpass yesterday, because of course they would be expecting to play up against SKADE again today. If they'd have won that first series, which they did, then yeah, this would be the matchup, and it would be likely that Overpass would maybe come up again. So maybe the only reason they didn't ban it is because they have gone back, they have watched it, they are now ready for whatever SKADE throw at them. This would be a nightmare if SKADE won this second round, though, because Galaxy Racer, they're already off to a good start. They need to extend it a little bit further.
And let's be honest, Galaxy Racer, this series for them is on hard mode, maybe playing top level Counter-Strike. 70 seconds on the board. They want to do this the hard way. And SKADE with a little bit of long control, very standard defense, permitting this is just the force buy. Up against the majority of rifles, all of which being Galil's apart from Unpleasant. Often the man to pick up that AK-47. Bomb still towards the T-spawn. They haven't decided where they want to go yet. Maybe hunting for that opening frag, and there's a chance that Ships gives it to them. Ooh, that timing not working out. Now Pleasant's going to be right in behind, surprised with the flashbang, and that is a lovely opener.
That's a beautiful flash from Relaxer too. Galaxy Racer looking like they should be able to put their second down, but one league from Rainwaker, and he's here for more. Spams away, tons of damage, but not quite the frag.
Oh, connections for damage, but no kills. And Galaxy Racer low on HP before the bomb goes down on this A bomb site. Duplicate, that nade could be an absolute nightmare. It's going to go right over the top here, and it looks like two low HP players are potentially about to walk into it. Could be a double kill. It isn't. Doesn't do anything. What goes wrong? I don't know, but SKADE, they lose that one absolutely decisively. 4 alive for Galaxy Racer.
Well, that is unfortunate, Galaxy Racer. They take these 2 openers. Yeah, I mean, the thing is right now is Galaxy Racer, their average performance just isn't going to cut it. They're challenged to play their best Counter-Strike, and that's what they're going to have to pull out on this third and final map. 2-0 up so far, looking to extend it to 3 as they face up against this Eco. They should be able to do so, but if they walk into this B-site stack, it's a trap. And so far, not spotting out anything.
Nade bounces the wrong way. Here come the pistols, but it's up against Relaxo. He's got the MAC-10 in hand. You see that kill feed. It is brutal. It can barely keep up. All of the money railed in. All of those kills with the SMGs. That's $3,000 as opposed to the standard $1,500 you'd be finding from 5 frags. That's exactly double if my abacus is correct.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. An extra 2,400 on top of that win bonus. Disco Dotplan on 7k. And he's going to carry across that MAC-10 too. Doesn't want to reinvest. He wants to try and be this entry fragger here in the 4th. Relaxer with that AWP. Everyone else going for the rifles. They know what they're up against. They know that they can't give SKADE any leg room. And oh no. They're going for this boost. It's taken some time. Relaxer. There we go. Second time the charm stays on it, but they spot it out and he drops. Beautiful stuff.
What? He actually gets flashed as well. How does that flashbang even connect there? It's from Disco Doppler. Don't know why he's throwing it. But it's a team flash coordination down the toilet.
Oh, that sucks. That really does suck. Jump the first time round, not connecting. Then the flashbang. Big mistakes. Now a minute wasted, and SKADE, they know exactly what's up. They have the information, and Freddy Frog, oh, does connect the shot with the AWP, but no frag.
That could have been the trade up there. Obviously retrieved AWP. They still want to double dip to B. He finally does find it. Low HP player taken away. And Oxygen in the open. Gets ballsy, gets traded. Pleasant fast headshot. And the B bomb site now up for grabs. That solo AWP of Denny holding the angle. Only connects the first, though, and now the bomb can surely come through. That is surely going to happen. And Disco Doppler very low in the meantime. Head glitch angle, maybe not the best time for the job. Smoke right over the top as Disco Doppler just takes his water control, wants to get more aggressive, contend with these lower angles. And with no HEs on the server, they have to take him down with brute firepower. Dezen, he's bailing a space for the Galil, and he actually finds that opener. Rainwaker creeping closer, but a knee spotted, hips found, and there's the headshot. Final few bullets, survives on 6 HP, and Galaxy Racer might not have looked good on this map yesterday, but they are putting up a good performance thus far.
Absolutely, yeah. Especially considering we talk about that 15-0 lead from SKADE yesterday in that first half. Galaxy Racer putting up this first 4, and all of a sudden these odds start to shift in their favour. These bettors just very, very fickle, Squid. We talk about
Very
that every
fickle.
time.
Well,
If
there is
you
a banner
wanna-
down below as well if you want to switch those odds in the opposite direction. I think we might get the seesaw this map, the full Monty.
Absolutely. I do anticipate SKADE in this next buy round to maybe take it and then level out this scoreline. I think the odds will probably swing back in their favour at that point. Maybe they even get it done with the Deagles. We'll have to wait and see. Heavy presence towards this B site on every man. But as this C4 starts to rotate, I think Galaxy Racer have started to realise there's been no presence over towards Fountain or A. There's a chance that this A site's just open for business.
And it is. Unlike many businesses right now, ships, double headshot downstairs. Des and Disco both receive flak in the face. And trying to get out and bail with these AK-47s, you'll see him try and throw these back, trying to get it to a safer space here. So Galaxy Racer can't contend with it. A man advantage, but not by much. 8 HP separates him. And I'd love to see them get these AKs in hand, considering they purchased the Desert Eagles in this one, and the Kevlar most notably. Aim punch, not an issue. Grenades are without head armor. And you see how much damage it does. A fat red bar dealt to Duplicate.
Galaxy Racer, they are actually going to creep back round to this B site, which is not being watched whatsoever. So they should be able to get on for free. SKADE left scratching their heads. Oxygen has headed over towards Heaven, so we will see this bomb cross more than likely. And as he sees these nades rain over too, he knows exactly what's up. He is going to call for his teammates to support. I don't think they'll go for a save here. They almost certainly go for this retake, but with low HP on every single man, only the Deagles to work with on 2, I can't imagine they get a lot done.
Has to be headshots galore, and Duplicate does spot out that AWP jumping to the rear. It is Relaxer. Has a good, more powerful angle here, and Freddy Frog getting aggressive as well. The twins on the after plant, and Pleasant right through that wooden plank, able to do the preliminary damage. The Desert Eagle only chips through for the first. So the AK can save. That's in the hands of Ships. He's had that since the start. That double 1D inside the connector did throw a spanner in the works. They get patched up at the end. 5-0. Rifles to come out for SKADE next. And Galaxy Racer, can they continue this lead? That is the question.
Well, fair amount of damage. No round taken, though. I'm pretty surprised Duplicate even landed that headshot. Just the top of the head showing. And, well, he gives him a haircut. 5-0 for Galaxy Racer with that AK being saved across. They've got plenty of cash to invest into this one, even if it hadn't have been. What are we being shown? No util damage on anybody. That's not very good. Use your nades more.
And the big reason for that is, well, those nades not connecting, but they haven't been able to afford a lot so far. That initial buy round, they didn't have much money, and Denny wanting to do this off firepower and firepower alone. Fast frag, no trades. Galaxy Racer inside the connector wants to eliminate Ships. He's been playing as that solo man as the stand-in, not playing in terms of the defense. And that hasn't been a massively negligible factor, I've got to say. On Dust 2, they had to rotate him around, find him a more confident position, and maybe those couple of rounds just trying to figure out their tactic prevented them from taking this 2-0. A bit of nade damage there, some of their first of the series, or first of the map, I should say.
Yeah, nice kill there from Rainwaker. If he stuck around, maybe could have found another. But the man advantage, they don't want to risk losing it. Galaxy Racer looking like they are going to head over towards Long. Denny could overstep and get caught out the boost there. Can't connect the flick. Denny now knows what's up. Knows those 2 players towards Long. Should call a rotation. He absolutely will. And he'll try and take control towards Toilets. He knows that there's a chance, actually a high likelihood, that there's one man lingering. Can't connect the shot. That might be Galaxy Racer's cue to head down connector to B. That would certainly be the smart move. But time pressure mounting. 30 seconds left on this clock. They need to speed this up, whatever they decide to do.
Oh, Pleasant almost connects that shot right through the Toilets wall. Oxygen finds one in the meantime on this B-bomb site. And there are only 2 players left standing for Galaxy Racer. Maybe if that double shot connects, then there's a chance, but Duplicate's there to shut it down with the AUG. And a nice, confident, convincing performance there from SKADE to get their, well, first round on the board and their second gun round of the map.
Those spray transfers a hell of a lot harder than they look. Anyone that plays Counter-Strike, especially at a high level, will know that one. And they actually had an opportunity to grab a secondary AWP there, so they could have had a double AWP set up. Instead, duplicate ops for the AK. They only want Denny on this AWP on overpass. So, yeah, I mean, I like that. That makes sense. You don't often go for that double AWP setup on the CT side here. It is certainly viable. And Galaxy Racer, off of the back of losing one round here on overpass, they are actually going to call a tactical timeout. They've got 4 of them to use and utilize. And here in round number 7, certainly not too early to use one.
No, definitely isn't. And they've won 5 of the last 6. Obviously, SKADE taking 1. They know how important this next round is. If they can take it, they can shut down this economy once again. Maybe not the closest performance there in round 6, but they know that SKADE aren't going to have bags and bags of cash after just a couple of kills come in. Maybe if SKADE survive with all 5 players in hand, then there's an opportunity that they don't take the tack and just play this round like normal, but they want to keep this tag going. They know how tough and tricky this CT side can be to deal with once they've got heavy money. That's what happened yesterday. They don't want to happen again.
Well, a full buy from both sides. Freddy dropping an AWP to his broski. Denny with one of his own on SKADE. Rifles on the rest. Utility. It's a little bit scarce, but scarce on both sides, and a lot of it expended early, remember. Galaxy Racer, they've already taken this fountain control completely uncontested by SKADE, and Rainwaker has to be very careful in the toilets. He's got opponents coming in from both angles, spots the feet, swings out, finds the frag, needs to check his behind, and it's not going to work for him. Dezen finds the kill, and that brings things into a 4-on-4 and puts SKADE into panic mode. They need to rotate to this A bomb site quick and get a move on.
Yeah, you've always got to check your behind before you leave the toilets. 5-1 on the board. Galaxy Racer, they have traded evenly. This is a 4 versus 4 and an opportunity to try and burst off the back of this. 3 men on the A-bomb site. SKADE, they've gone for somewhat of a stack. Left B vulnerable with only duplicate holding, albeit he's been great on the defense. Relaxer finds that. That should bait them into the setup, but are they still expecting 2 members here? That's the question before the push comes through, one of which being Denny's AWP, and he'll take the swing into Relaxer as well. Double mistakes made. That's insanity. And Chips has been spotted onto low HP as well. All of the kills here from Galaxy Racer. They don't even need the bomb plant as they keep this T-sided tear going.
Unbelievable. 20 seconds on that clock, and they had that bomb down on long as well. So had they have found that kill onto Relaxer, there's an opportunity that they just converge on long. They can make that one work and play the time, but instead they all swing out, all fall to the shots. Relaxer gets himself a 3k, and that secures that 6th for Galaxy Racer. SKADE right now actually looking like they're struggling, and I think that they're probably quite surprised. I think they probably came into this overpass map with their heads held high, feeling pretty comfortable about this. Quite the opposite. Clear that Galaxy Racer maybe just woke up on the wrong side of the bed the other day. In fact, yesterday. They've done their prep, done their homework. Right now, putting up a really solid fight against the SKADE side, the Bulgarians. They're ferocious.
Gotta say, M&J, I am surprised.
Me too. Me too.
6-1. SKADE need a window of opportunity. Galaxy Racer aren't giving them anything. The toilet's held by Ships. He's the only player here. Bit of support from Denny, but he's watching onto long on that flower pot boost. And well, there it goes. Pleasant gone. 50 seconds now as Freddy Frog wants the openings. Shadow spotted though. You're at a disadvantage, inherently so on the beam bomb site as you move in from short. They need support from Monster, and that won't come with Oxygen applying the pressure. He's now been found, but not killed as Rainwaker bails him out of a world of trouble for him to find that final man. It's Dezen to drop. 2 rounds for SKADE, and that one much more convincing.
Absolutely. 4 players staying alive. Big round for SKADE to pick up. That configuration that they had over towards long was definitely what they needed earlier. The only issue with it is that you're quite vulnerable from connector, of course. If they come through fountain, you haven't got that sight line. They could wrap all the way around to the A site without you knowing about it. Not something that's massively repeatable. Still just about staying dynamic. Keep your opponents guessing. In this round, Denny, for the first time in a while, going to go for a pick towards mid. Doesn't merit him a frag, but he does get the information, does realise they're against an eco too, so really shouldn't be overcommitting to this one. It should be a 3rd for SKADE, though. Surprising they've managed to break Galaxy Racer's economy so easily.
And it's off the back of them not being able to chain together rounds in the last 3. It's gone back and forth and back again. doesn't usually favor the CT side, but when your rounds are far more convincing than your opponents, yes, you are going to limit that cash. That's what's happened. 60 seconds to play with, plus the 5. And bursting out a connector seems to be the play, but still a double defense over on B. Still the shutdown, very possible, and this is SKADE's opportunity to build the bank. That money can bloom and blossom. Oxygen holds down all 30 bullets. He's still got 2 in the barrel, back to the pistol to try and finish off the rest, and he does.
Easy pickings, 4 kills for him. Puts him on to 6.5k, he pads out those stats. Now he's going positive, look, 8 to 7. He's going to be happy with that one, despite the fact his face doesn't show it. And there's your Hellcase banner. Use that code on the screen if you do want to head over to Hellcase for a 15% refill bonus. Very, very trusted site, one of our partners over at EDC. Please make sure you gamble responsibly, and you are 18 plus though.
And have fun.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when the fun stops, stop.
So is the last rule. Either way, straight into B. This is a change of pace as Galaxy Racer want to slam their feet on the accelerator pedal, but that hasn't worked. It's a complete shut away. SKADE doesn't even drop a single man. And this is starting to look like a much more competitive map. And then the question is, can Galaxy Racer take any, if not many, more than 6? I'm not sure that they can, you know. I think that once SKADE have rifles in hand, that money built, this now becomes a very different map. You see that initial scramble to try and get the money established. Now that's happened. This is going to be a much more uphill climb for Galaxy Racer. Remember, those 6 were taken consecutively, almost so. 5 were at least. And then the 6th right after. SKADE just take 1.
Oh, ships, the timing. That is so unfortunate. If I was him, I would be tilted. I'd be bashing the desk. My mum would be telling me off. The rest of these pistols should be able to get too much done, though, as they just charge right in, walk into the blender. A fair amount of damage dealt, and actually we do find ourselves in a 2-on-2. So bomb plant potential, they can pick up these rifles, and there's definitely a chance for them.
Unfortunately, no Kevlar on the AK-47, and that's going to be a nuisance when the nades roll in. 40 damage. Here, or 40 HP remaining after the nade does 60 damage, and Freddy Frog steals an AWP. We know he knows how to use it, and he is watching for this defuse early. I don't know what SKADE are expecting, but with the smoke down, they go for the forward peak, and Oxygen, he's been proficient with the headshots and spots out the knee of the last. It's Dezen. They're dropping 5 on the board for SKADE, as even these scary situations now being cleaned up.
Yeah, I mean, they shouldn't have allowed Galaxy Racer to take as much as they did there, but nice recovery. Doesn't really matter all too much. They've still got plenty of cash to reinvest. They're actually around this 10k mark at this point, so really putting up a strong performance. Galaxy Racer off the back of that one, that was only a half buy, so they were anticipating to have the money to buy into this one anyway. So off the back of that bomb plant, they can get that AWP out, all the utility, have a little bit of cash to spare as well. This is where they need to try and put up some more rounds, though, because remember, they were 5-0 up. And it does lead you to question, were SKADE just mismanaging their economy a little bit at the start? Because now they've got these guns out, they are showing a very, very different caliber of CS. Denny, unfortunately, can't connect that first AWP shot, but the incendiary in place means that he can't get instantly traded, and he can actually fall away. Safe passageway back to this A-bomb site.
That economy management is always a little bit of Captain Hindsight re-emerging, isn't it? When you win that second round, you look like geniuses. You bring the scoreline back, maybe you have a lockdown half, and Galaxy Racer don't even get onto 6 in the first place. Yes, if you go for the double eco right off the bat, then you're guaranteeing that they take at least 3, and then there's absolutely no assumption that you can take the rifle round. But here, maybe that would have been the better bet in hindsight, perhaps. Pleasant traded. Doesn't find any real notable damage. Well, he does damage, health at least, but no frags. And that's what's important here in the 3 versus 5. SKADE should be able to overpower this one once again, especially with ships running an absolute muck. We'll see not just the shadow, but the back of one, and oh, he's right behind the pack. Surprise, surprise, he eats 2 alive. It's headshots to finish.
Beautiful stuff there from ships. That's fantastic. Brilliant positioning too. Galaxy Racer maybe should be a little bit aware of it, but Oh, they just weren't. SKADE now level things up 6-6. And talking about that economy mismanagement at the start, I think it's just, especially in this instance, just a little bit of a confidence thing. Of course, not giving Galaxy Racer the respect that maybe they deserve and saying, oh, we wrecked these guys the other day. That pistol was just a bit of a one-off. Let's force into the second. I'm sure we'll dominate. But you can't do that here. Perhaps different. Ships, 2 nice kills. Fantastic flash from Denny. Gives them a nice advantage.
Ships has been the X factor this series, let's be honest. All of these opening kills that he's been finding, he's basically been playing this kind of like 4-1 setup where, hey, right, rest of SKADE, you do your thing, and I will do my thing, and I'm going to do it pretty bloody well.
Yeah, he's like a super stand-in, isn't he? He's not like much better than anybody else on this team necessarily, but he's just kind of doing his own thing and he's doing it superbly. Duplicate, no way they anticipate this position. It's such a difficult angle to clear. And when you don't have the information, you almost fall to it every single time. You've got other angles to watch. You can't afford to swing out and check that lower corner. And that's going to be the demise of Galaxy Racer in the 13th. 7-6, SKADE now take it. First time this map they've taken the lead. They might be able to extend this one further. Before we get into that, though, Galaxy Racer are going to take another tactical timeout.
I remember the best example of a super stand-in. This isn't really the same, but I was casting a pretty tiny tournament M&J and some no-name teams, people that you'd never heard of before, and then they got Flamey from Na'Vi as their stand-in. And basically he got, I think, 45 frags, absolutely wrecked. It looked like he was smurfing. There was your Paramatch odds and banner on your screen. You can go down in the Twitch stream to click on that if you want to take advantage of it. Remember, there are bonuses up for grabs. Trusted site. 7-6 here, M&J.
Yeah, my super stand-in story. I was doing a Lithuanian, a Baltic a regional event, just little team players that you'd never heard of. And then it was like a wrestling match. HS walked in. Obviously, he's Latvian and played for Optic Gaming at the time. And he just wrecked everyone.
Exactly. That's what they do. Ruining the fun for everybody. Here, SKADE, they do have to face Galaxy Racer after taking that tactical timeout. And what has changed here? Not much, supposedly. With Pleasant dropping instantly. These 8-10, something that you can't really criticize. Everybody lingering between the 6 and 10 kills mark on Galaxy Racer. Those numbers, by the way, Josh, haven't increased very much since round 7. We're now looking at rounds number 14 and 15.
Galaxy Racer definitely struggling here a little bit on their T side since that reign of rounds. But here in the 14th, they've put up quite the fight. 2 quick kills coming through. Denny now left to defend this B. Sight finds the first untraded, looking for the second. Can't quite connect it. And Galaxy Racer, that's going to be a 3B bomb site for them. They can get that C4 down. And Ships left in a very, very tricky position. But he is going to go for it. They've got so much money, and they've only got 2 rounds left of the half.
S on his chest. Does it stand for Ships or super stand-in? We're about to find out. 8K ready. And apparently it stands for the former. 7-7. Galaxy Racer, their first round in a long time. That might just be enough. We asked how many more that they could take, if any, this half. And they've at least hit that kind of benchmark that you're looking for on Overpass. Now they're kind of relying on, maybe we take this final round as a bonus. And then it's all down to that second half pistol. This one's still very up in the air, folks.
Yeah, it absolutely is. The only reason we're leaning towards SKADE is, of course, for Galaxy Racer, when you take such a good start, in fact, 6-1, you're really expecting quite a bit more than an 8-7 half. And at this point, that's the best they can hope for. Desn't even getting a little bit tagged up through that door. In fact, it only did 1 point of damage. Thought it did a little bit more than that.
Big damage.
Oh, that's a fantastic flash. Oh, wow.
That is flawless. That was obviously communicated through and showing that Ships isn't just a stand-in. He's somebody who knows how to communicate with the team and actually play as a unit.
Absolutely, yeah. And just the initiative that's required to do something like that, to actually call for the flashbang and say, I'm going to go for a swing here. Somebody flash me straight through the window. Beautiful stuff. Something that you don't often see a stand-in do. Pleasant. Oh, just didn't even really react there.
He knew he was dead, closed his eyes, prayed upwards, knowing that this is going to be an 8-7 half to SKADE. Not nearly as good as they performed yesterday on this very map against this very team. Relaxer tries to bring it back with 1. He's got very little support in the form of a 12 HP Freddy Frog. It is the twins, though, so maybe if they mind merge, they can bring back this 2 versus 5. Or looks to move in. It's not going to happen. This half is very over. Ships will secure it.
That's the issue when you've got an AWP in hand. That long barrel can be a bit pesky. It can stick around corners without you noticing and allow your opponents to just line up their crosshair perfectly for when you peek into it. It is going to be 8-7 to SKADE, and when you look at those little dots in the middle of the scoreboard, you start to realize that they brought back a hell of a comeback. I think 6-7 in a row just to make that one work. 8-7 in their favor if they can take the pistol here too. I do really, really think that they should be able to take over past, but no surprise, it's a close game. Absolutely what we were expecting. It's been a close series so far today. In fact, every single game has been a close one.
I don't know if it was what I was expecting. It definitely is what I was hoping for. I didn't want this to just be an absolute rollover. We'll see if SKADE can get the job done here. Often 8 not enough as the CT force. Galaxy Racer, let's see if they can put together an acceptable half. It all starts with the pistol here. Rainwaker, nice shot to open up, and that might run them through the loop. Here, Des and Pleasant, that rhyming couplet, looking for those first frags with a P2000, and he doesn't find it, wants to reswing into the Glock 18s. It's not going to happen with Oxygen hitting all of the headshots. There's another one. Fast frags, ships connects. It's Disco Doppler next to fall, and the super stand-in does it again in the pistol. The bomb should easily go down here as the flawless pistol converted.
Chips wanted the knife there in the 5v1. Unbelievable. That just shows the power of 4 Glocks charging at you up close and personal. The spammability of them, the P2000s, the USPs, they just can't get anything done whatsoever. That first foot kill coming in from long kind of really makes Galaxy Racer question. They maybe pull a rotation over. Then they have that double defense towards Monster. They see the first man jiggling out, think that there's maybe one attacker towards that area of the map, and then they just get bamboozled. It's a big surprise when 4 players swing, and there's nothing they can do about it. 9-7, they've got all the rifles to work with, 2 SMGs, a lot of utility as they hit this B site, and they should just be able to overwhelm it.
And with Oxygen hitting all of the shots, that now, well, just poses a massive threat, doesn't it? And really makes you think that this T side might be very scary, much like the CT side of yesterday. Quick bomb plant, B bomb site, it's been captured. In Galaxy Racer, I'd love to see them save these into the next, knowing that they won't have any investment otherwise.
Yeah, I'd like to as well. Of course, it's far more likely that they will actually be able to do something in the 18th than they will here. This is just an impossible retake. They actually have no kits to work with either, so they certainly don't have time to get back in and get that defuse. But what it does allow is it allows SKADE to have a flawless round, start to build up this money. That's incredibly dangerous on this T side, especially with the 3-round lead. SKADE are hunting. They don't want to allow Galaxy Racer to save these weapons. Feeling confident right now, and they should be.
6 rounds away from the playoffs.
6, and well, as you look at these Paramatch odds that come up on our screen, this is for the map winner, but of course, ultimately the series winner, and SKADE firm favourites. They only lead by 3, but I think it's off the back of the comeback and their previous results here on Overpass. And if you fancy placing a bet on this one, make sure to check down those banners below, get your deposit bonus. Make sure you gamble responsibly. 10-7 then. They lead by 3. They look to extend it further, but they are just against a real lackluster buy here for Galaxy Racer. The boost coming through, but not a lot for them to work with. So this should be an easy one for the T side. It will be the next round where they're really challenged.
Well, the UMP pressuring, that's going to be the first man in. $600 per kill, remember. Looking to line those purple pockets. Minute 15 to play with as well, so time definitely not a pressure. A couple of these pistols could be, though. Knowing that Relaxer's got the Scout in hand. Over towards this A-bomb site. Can be dangerous if he swings in for the headshots. Knowing that Duplicate, the floating voter, to keep some map control over on the curly letter. That would be only Freddy Frog holding. He's got such little support. Have actually got the boost in the meantime as well. You don't really see that on the minimap. It's a little bit confusing on Overpass, but they are here, and with Pleasant finding one, they're going to dismount this boost, dismantle this setup, and force in with 4. Galaxy Racer, they've got everything established, and Freddy Frog will go for the aggressive swing. Denny there, the spray down, the flank coming through in the meantime, and Rainwaker needs to throw an absolute spanner in the works and throw a party on this B-bomb site, right through the smoke, a long-range spray spray down to finish. And SKADE, they do survive.
Oh, that one got a little bit close for comfort, but they recover it nicely. It's all off the back of that beautiful positioning from Rainwaker. Gets himself in such a powerful position, gets right up behind them, and there's really nothing Galaxy Racer can do, even though they know it. They just can't watch both angles at the same time. They have to take those fights one by one and cross their fingers. SKADE now leading by 4, and as I said before, this is where they're really going to be tested. I'm surprised Rainwaker just stays with this UMP, going for a bit of a bonus. Everybody else with the AKs in hand, no AWP for this SKADE side, but they want to up the pace, and Rainwaker wants to be the first man in. Already in party, taking a lot of control. Freddy Frog needs to be careful at this point. Minute 30 on the clock, and they are hungry. Even damage onto Pleasant early on.
Oh, information granted, and Freddy Frog steals that kill. Galaxy Racer, one-man advantage. Can they use it? Here comes the boost, M&J. The bomb site seems to be the one under contest, and well, Deza not going to spot it out whatsoever. He was jump spotting for the smoke grenade, and now Disco Doppler put under heavy pressure, and there come the nades as well, and the headshots. Duplicate with 1. The smokes are down to aid the bomb's entrance, and all of the D's finding all of the kills as Disco Doppler sprays away another 2 and denies that bomb from going down. A massive impact, couple of frags. The ships trades it back. They've still got bags of time, but not bags of chances, with Relaxer hitting all of the AWP shots. He's got the angle for a second time, and how does that one not connect? Goes for the double dip, takes a lot of damage, wants even more. This is greedy. But on the B bomb site, what other options does he have? Bomb goes away, knows exactly where Oxygen's playing from, and the swing, the connection, the kill doesn't happen. It's Oxygen instead.
That is absolutely crushing. His first shot, I don't know how it missed. I think he might have taken a step and it went a little bit inaccurate, missed by a millimeter. And then that final one, he should have felt like that really, really connected, but it was only the leg. That's so unfortunate. Such an impactful round. And he has got to be crushed right now. They're just down to the pistols. SKADE should be able to take this one to 13. That was such a messy round, but somehow tip it over the edge. And well, that opening pick from the boost, it's something that often slips your mind, but you always have to be checking for it on that B site of Overpass. That is rough.
And to strike, Josh, it's a game of inches, and it's rounds like that that win you championships, win you group stages, win you money.
Absolutely. Oh, if they lose this one now, it's going to really fall onto that round. That could have been the turning point. They tick it back in. Instead, it's not. And SKADE, they're just going to be able to walk straight onto this A bomb site. It's completely uncontested. Pleasant's deep and long, but nowhere to really stop this C4 from going down. The issue is that Duplicate's miles away, so they will be able to get onto this A site, should be able to secure it, and just against the pistols, I don't think they'll be too challenged anyway. That's Pleasant dropping, and yeah, the C4 will start its marathon of a rotate.
He was the only danger man, and expect SKADE to take even more here. Down into bank to challenge the 5-7. It feels like Oxygen is actually one of the most precise players in the entire Bulgarian region. He seems to find every headshot, doesn't he? Rainwaker as well. 2 quick kills onto the pistols. And this will be 13-7. And how did Galaxy Racer recover?
Oh, Relaxer. I think he's just hoping for something here. Wants to try and find a kill maybe. Grab himself an AK. Not sure if he'll get it.
He won't.
No? You don't think?
No, I don't think so whatsoever. They have completely outmaneuvered him in this attempt. They'll keep all 5 of these rifles in hand going into round number 21. It will be a 13-7 scoreline, of course, ladies and gentlemen. SKADE just 3 away from the playoffs.
3 away. Oh, they're so close. Galaxy Racer need double that. Relaxer making a lot of noise, and there we go. Drops to the headshot just before the end. Thought there was a chance he might be able to peek out and get himself a cheeky headshot, but just not quick enough. Walked straight into the crossfire. As you say, 3 away from finishing this one off, and they will be allowed a freebie as well if they can take this next one. You look at that Galaxy Racer money. There's nothing left after this investment. That AWP comes out on Relaxer. Everybody else with the rifles, 2 kits to work with, plenty of util. But if the round doesn't go their way, SKADE should be able to put themselves onto series point. And opening things up nicely with York.
And it's all about this T side. It's been so aggressive. And those opening kills, Galaxy Racer, they try and change the pace, but it doesn't work out at all. They get aggressive. The Molotov's brutal. Pleasant takes even further damage. This still doable, though. The smokes, yes, they're placed for heaven, preventing all of that visual. And SKADE, yes, they have salvaged this B bomb site, but the C4 maneuvering in very late. 70 seconds left to play with. And that nade, oh no, it's a catastrophe. Flies right over the top. They know where Pleasant's playing from, and he stood out in the open, all isolated, very vulnerable to the AWP, which will end his life. 14-7 SKADE. They're doing it again, this time on the T side.
Yeah, really not a lot going Galaxy Racer's way here as they trail 14-7. They are going to call their third tactical timeout, and that gives us an opportunity to talk about our friends over at Parimatch. If you do want to place a bet on this match or any other matches in the EDC, make sure you click on that banner down below for that bonus. Of course, B18, gamble responsibly. I actually don't know what Galaxy Racer can even be talking about right now. Their morale has got to be down in the dumps, just like their bank accounts. They don't have enough money to go for a full investment here. I can't imagine they buy maybe a little bit of a half investment, get those pistols, make sure you've got the full buy in the next, and then cross your fingers and hope that you can pull back 8 in a row. That's not going to be the case. They actually go for the investment here. This could be the beginning of the end, Squid.
It certainly could be. It could be the end for them in this tournament. SKADE just 2 rounds now away from the playoffs. This is crunch time for them when the pressure gets applied. Shot misses. Relaxer, that was audacious.
Definitely was. Desmond takes some damage early. Likewise to Rainwaker. I let this go top lands position as Relaxer finds himself one with the scout. They've certainly got a little bit of an advantage here despite the firepower disparity. And this is a good setup. This is a good configuration. They're able to just spray away for 3 with the MP9s. Maybe too little too late, but definitely, yeah, what they needed here in the 22nd to prevent SKADE from championship point.
And exactly the case. You see Denny even getting rid of the AWP to make sure that Galaxy Racer, who are very low on economy, can't find it. Just trying to get every little inkling of an advantage. And we can see that Galaxy Racer don't have that sniper rifle potential, which could be very powerful. Relaxer just actually prohibited from picking up that sniper. Instead, it's the Scout, the less powerful variety. Less punching power, less damage.
We can also see from our bird's eye view that Galaxy Racer weren't hunting at all. They knew how important it was to hold on to the weapons that they had. So there was actually an opportunity for Denny to just save that AWP across, but they have so much money, there was no need to risk it. Of course, there was over a minute left on that clock, so to just get it out the map, make sure they couldn't retrieve it, definitely the right move to go for. They can fully reinvest here. He's actually just going to pull out another one. This is where they want to put themselves onto map point, though. Series point, in fact. Galaxy Racer still trailing by 6, but I don't know. They seem to have this mental resilience that I've not seen from many other sides.
Seems to be the case. 95 seconds, early in round number 23. Oops, not for both teams though. Galaxy Racer playing a 5 automatic rifle setup, and I've got to say this water control didn't favour them before and surely shouldn't favour them again. Oxygen and opening kill, and Disco Doppler now needs to frantically back away towards B. The smoke grenade to aid his exit. But SKADE, they've done that preliminary damage that they needed to do, brought this back to evens in a 4 versus 4. This thins the defense. And Galaxy Racer now need to gamble, maybe on this B bomb site. That would be correct to remember. That seems to be where SKADE are going towards, and with no map control elsewhere, how do they get out of this one? I don't think they can. Nothing on A, an advanced position from Freddy Frog, and they will push the issue on the B bomb site, and there come the headshots for perhaps the penultimate time. The bomb to go down in a way. Pleasant also gets found. And Galaxy Racer down on their luck, down on rounds, and going to be down on money into perhaps the final round here. Freddy Frog needs to bail with the AK-47. Does he go for this 1 versus 3? I do not think so. Needs to find every kill here, and this now gets dangerous. Maybe, just maybe, if SKADE go too aggressive on the hunt, he can just find this single-man Rainwaker, get in and defuse, but that is such a remote possibility that it's never going to happen. They're trying to spin the roulette wheels to hit zeros, and this will be 15-8. Another monumental comeback needed.
What a round from SKADE. That opening trade going 1-for-1, but that almost always favors the T side. It thins out that defense, as you mentioned before. And it means that Galaxy Racer either have to play 2-2 or gamble stack a site. Puts you in a real predicament. Round number 24. This is where Galaxy Racer needs to pull it back. 7 in a row needed to take this one to OT. They've got the tools to do so. Relaxer with that AWP. Rifles all around, but SKADE are on a tear, and they want to get this one done sooner rather than later. They're heading over towards that A site, the bomb left behind. They just want to take control towards Fountain and Playground.
That has been the commonality every single time for SKADE. They haven't been committing with that C4, and that has given them further options later in the game. Disco Doppler finds the opener this time. And the refrag prevented by that incendiary grenade, which lands flawlessly.
Yeah, that is actually a pretty perfect start, especially with Relaxer finding one of his own. SKADE, a real difficult task to actually get back into this one, but then he brings one back, ships in a prime position to maybe find more. Not if his teammates are going to keep facing Relaxer. Galaxy Racer might actually be able to take this one. Looking
yeah,
likely
Denny's only got 10 HP as well, so not really anything to work with here in round number 24. And the money won't be ideal here for SKADE. I don't know what the loss bonus is going to look like. I haven't been keeping track of it, but I'm sure that we're going to find out shortly. And does Denny go back to his favorite position to bin the AWP once again? I'm not sure. Dezen is here holding the C4 down and away. And Denny doesn't seem to want to throw this one out of the map this time. Wants to search, hunt for this opening. If he finds it cleanly, then there is an opportunity because Disco Doppler's very low on health. And Relaxer's got the AWP as well, so this only takes a couple of missteps for Galaxy Racer for their tournament to be over, but surely he doesn't check this corner. Surely he doesn't even try and get the bomb plant. I don't know. This is GG's Dezen right in behind. Doesn't want to make any mistakes there. That could have been awkward, but it is a 9th.
Yeah, he's really playing a dangerous game. I thought he was going to go for a knife or something there. I was like, oh, no, Dezen, don't do that. You know how often we see those go horribly wrong? Too often.
Imagine it going wrong and then losing your place in the tournament because of it.
He would be kicked. He would be killed.
Out of the Counter-Strike scene.
Yeah. Shunned. Banished. Be a bit of a 1G moment.
Eliminated. 5 rounds separate them if they can take this one. And that seems to be the case. SKADE don't have much of an investment in this one. They buy the AK-47 to leaven up the cash. But they should be feeling comfortable.
Ooh. That's a bit cheeky. Like that. These little kind of plays like that, these little coordinated peaks that Galaxy Racer go for, really do impress me. Just a pop flash, swing out, find that headshot. Really, really flawlessly timed. Really nice stuff. But as I said before, they're doing this stuff too late. 15-9. They might be able to make it 15-10. It's actually looking likely at this point as Relaxer with this AWP up close is doing all the damage. They do trade him though.
And I've got to say, that is why SKADE prevented him from picking up the AWP for so long, even throwing it out of maps at times. 15-10 regardless. Galaxy Racer starting to climb back up the scoreboard, and it's all off the back of this CT side. Difference now 5.
Pleasant just about retrieves that AWP as well. Drops that one over to Relaxer. He would have had just about enough to buy him one anyway. But yeah, carrying it across keeps that money quite healthy. SKADE now just want to finish off the job. It's round number 26. The scoreline's drawing too close for comfort. We did see Galaxy Racer pull off a comeback just like this on Dust 2. So this would be the upset of the day if they could do it in the third map and actually take us to OT. SKADE really don't want that to happen. Of course, they played this map just yesterday and won it 16-3. This time around, having a lot more difficulty closing it out.
And Dust 2, that's exactly what we saw. SKADE had map points, were unable to take it. This series, this broadcast, it would already be over. If SKADE had closed that one out, of course, it would have been a very speedy 2-0. But this time, they're struggling on the team side. And this very often Galaxy Racer's map pick as well. Didn't think it was going to be an entirely confident one, but An 11th round seems like a guarantee in the 4 versus 2, but SKADE, if they can capitalize off of one misstep, then it will be series over. With Freddy Frog in the back lines, that should be the insurance policy that they can now cash in on. There's no way that they spot for this M4A4. They're too busy elsewhere. And with Disco Doppler connecting all of the shots and that M4A1S from heaven, actually walking into the crosshairs, this gives Rainwaker a glimmer, a glimpse of hope. But they spot him in the back and the Orp's able to tag him up. So 11 now for Galaxy Racer. Difference 4.
And they'll be able to put themselves onto 12 here too. No money for SKADE to actually invest into this one. 2.5k a piece. They really don't have a loss bonus built up either, so they're just going to go for a couple of pistols. That will be it. There's seriously a chance that Galaxy Racer could actually take this one to OT, which would be incredible. SKADE just need to finish off the job.
I thought M&J, we were going to have a very quick, easy, bish, bash, bosh third map. That hasn't happened. Galaxy Racer 4 and potentially 3 now from OT. Race through this wall, doesn't tag up anybody. Oh, that shot almost does. As now the AK-47 from the rear can clean up the connector. Such a hard on angle to actually hold. You have to prioritize multiple positions, and Freddy Frog seems to be able to manage those priorities perfectly. Quick kills. Remember, but it doesn't matter how decisive these rounds are. Galaxy Racer, if they lose one, it's a finisher. It's a choke slam. Right out of the bracket, right out of Group B. Denny Oxygen, 2 versus 5. Wanting to maybe steal away an AWP here, get a bit cheeky with these pistols. It's not going to happen. Freddy Frog doesn't even bother reloading before ripping Denny's face off. It will be 40 seconds left. Oxygen, where's the damage coming from? It's not going to happen. Flawless. Means that Galaxy Racer, they'll have a full investment until the very finish.
Yeah, the money doesn't even really matter at this point. As long as they've got enough to actually reinvest after the round wins, then that's absolutely fine. And they almost always will, unless they lose every man and maybe, I don't know, finish with time. I don't think there's any way that that really happens. But this is a must-win round here for SKADE. If they can't do it, they end up with no money going into the 29th. It will be 15-14. This is unbelievable. Galaxy Racer have actually pulled off this comeback, and now it would be absolutely devastating if they lost it. I'm almost rooting for them at this point. The underdogs in this map, the underdogs in this series, and they're putting up a hell of a fight. I just have liked to have seen this earlier. I don't know how they keep having such weak starts and then pull it back. It's this lifeline adrenaline. It's almost like they like being on match point.
I did say this in this Heretic series earlier today, that they play their best Counter-Strike, Galaxy Race that is, when their backs are up against the wall, when they've got everything to play for, when the stakes are at the absolute highest. And maybe that's the captain of Disco Doppler pulling them through. Maybe it's all of the stars shining and realizing we've got serious Counter-Strike to be played here. Relaxer, another shot banged. His AWPing has been influential. Now in a spot of bother inside the toilets. Can't back off knowing that the AKs are encroaching, but cannot stick around. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. He's got Pleasant in the back lines to hold away the rotate, and there are no flashes to take him away, so a tag bang, that might not be enough. The nade doesn't connect with a kill, but does substantial damage. Pleasant in this smoke grenade also falls, and SKADE 2 rounds away from the victory, now 2 kills away from the playoffs. They've got the A bomb site. Dezen in the back lines, unable to prevent that bomb from going down, but that headshot is influential. A 2 versus 2. The HP is even, and Disco Doppler is encroaching in from the side before Rainwaker finds another one. It's the captain versus a pair of players to try and keep Galaxy Racer in this series. The fast flank is on the way, and surely he doesn't get the job done here. 8 HP, it gets taken down as Denny secures SKADE's place in the playoffs.
That is unbelievable. A roller coaster of a series. And as I just said just a couple of moments ago, it's so unfortunate that Galaxy Racer can only seem to play their best Counter-Strike when their backs are against the wall. Had they been playing like that from the start, we would have seen a very different series. But yeah, they just gave up too many rounds early on, and it meant that they were really struggling to pull it back. A good performance on Overpass, but of course not enough, and they'll be out. It's so unfortunate. That definitely could have gone either way, but you see that bracket right there. It's Hellraisers and SKADE joining them in the playoffs, and well, that wraps up Group B, doesn't it, Squid?
It absolutely does, and two very worthy playoffs participants. It's Hellraiser, SKADE. I'd say that Galaxy Racer, if they had made it through instead of SKADE, they would have definitely been worthy as well, showing a lot of heart in this series. Definitely a lot to take away. It isn't just pain, but in this series, 3 maps, great performance, I've got to say, from both teams, and just really impressive from SKADE to be able to finish it off. When you are 15-6 in front, when you've got those 14-2 opening score lines, just to get to that point is very, very impressive, and that is pause for thought going into the playoffs. Can they do it again against some of the bigger teams? I certainly hope so.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, to actually have that mental resilience to come back from a scoreline like that is incredible. To post some of the rounds that they were, some of the really convincing rounds too, against a side like SKADE, really does show that they are above what they're kind of estimated at, and that they can be a bit of a dark horse in many of these tournaments and cause upsets. That's not going to be the case today, but I am excited to see them going forward because they played some pretty sensational Counter-Strike here. And yeah, it's been a really, really long day, and I think it's Galaxy Racer's fault. They really took us the distance.
They certainly did in both series. In fact, 6 maps possible, 6 maps played. And I've just got to say a massive thank you, because that is our final match for the day, and me and M&J's final match for the tournament as well. Thank you so much to everybody who's made this one possible for us. Make sure that you catch the further groups. It's same place, different time tomorrow, a little bit earlier as they jump into Group C. Thanks to all the partners who make this possible as well. Paramatch and Hellcase, right at the bottom of the screen. Hellraisers, that's the team that qualified. But you've been watching the European Development Championship. Been Squid and M&J, all brought to you by Gaming Malta, the home of gaming excellence. We'll see you next time for more action.